Well, I don't have a clever transition for this, but
Beastmaster 2.
Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time. Period. Apparently,
And
I'm
mind
looking at the
you,
graphic.
it is not the Beastmaster 2.
They
It is
downgraded him.
just Beastmaster 2.
They downgraded our boy Dar. He is no longer the Beastmaster. He is merely Beastmaster. Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time. Again, period. I notice here in this graphic, there's actually a punctuation. There's actually like a period at the end of the title. I don't think that's official, but it's there. Anyway, Beastmaster 2 is the film we're here to talk about today. Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time from the year 1991. This is nearly a decade removed from the outset of the Barbarian boom. So we have jumped from hot off the heels of John Milius's Conan the Barbarian, catching the wave of that trend, to well after the wave is crested. Barbarian cinema may as well have died in earnest around the time of Canon's Masters of the Universe in 1988, I believe. But it carried on, like it limped along for several years after that in the form of films like this, Beastmaster 2, and also quite a lot of television, as far as I recall. Like we had a lot of this kind of stuff, this kind of like sword and sandal fantasy fare throughout the 90s. But in cinema, to me, it's mostly an 80s phenomenon. But this is just after the wave had crested, basically.
When did we get Hercules with Kevin
Hercules.
Sorbo?
Hercules with Kevin Sorbo, I want to say was a mid-90s show.
Mid-90s?
I want to say. I remember when the pilot came out, and I actually remember enjoying it. I didn't carry on with that show for very long. I think I actually watched more Xena than I did Hercules.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because with Xena and Hercules, there's like a strong Sam Raimi connection because it's like the other half of the Evil Dead franchise, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me. The other guy who did it. But like he was like sort of the head of the Hercules and Xena thing. So we have like some episodes that are guest directed by Raimi. Bruce Campbell is in a ton of those episodes.
Oh yeah. And later on, you get Ash versus Evil Dead. They bring Lucy Lawless into that show, as far as I recall.
Yeah.
So connections, revolutions. But yeah, Beastmaster 2, as directed by Sylvio Tabet.
Yes.
Lebanese producer, who of course produced the first Beastmaster film. There was a fair amount of friction on the production of that first film, wherein he essentially tried to oust our director, Don Coscarelli, from the original Beastmaster film from 1982. The Beastmaster, excuse me. And Coscarelli was not given final cut of that film. In fact, he was removed from the editing, the post-production process of that film, and it was padded by about 20 minutes at least, as a result, at the request of the producer. And this time around, our producer saw fit to seat himself in the director's chair. And as far as I teased this in our previous conversation, Levi, but as far as I understand, this fella is kind of like the shadow that looms over the entirety of the Beastmaster saga. Is he is the fly in the ointment, but he's also Mr. Moneybags. So it's like this dangerous combination of an essential element, but also an intrusive element. That's exactly what you don't want to be. But you know, the man had gumption. We'll give him that. To walk into the room and say, "I'm going to direct this bitch. I got this, Jim Wynorski."
he's like uranium glass. It's like, well, the uranium is what makes it green. It's what gives it its color. It's what makes the glass the glass. The problem is that it's toxic.
That's all right. It won't kill you right away, will it? Yeah. So this fella, Sylvio Tabet, the story goes on the production of this one, and I don't have as many behind the scenes details on this one. I did watch a cute, like 7-minute featurette about the making of this film that was clearly intended with distributors in mind.
Yeah,
I kinda hate those featurettes, like, when they put them on DVDs or Blu-rays and stuff, because
yeah.
you can tell who the intended audience is, and it's not me, it's people who will ultimately end up distributing the film, so basically, it's just a fluff piece, it's just the production stroke in itself.
Yeah,
Um
that was also on, full disclosure, folks, all through this Beastmaster ride we're on, I am watching all of these on VHS. I have VHS copies of them. I think we watched the same making of because the making of is on the VHS.
yes. Yeah, I believe the entire VHS is, available on YouTube, complete with the
Oh,
previews and the featurette that we both mentioned here. Oddly enough, I did discover that there do appear to be 2 different versions of this film. I don't think they're altered in content, like, I don't think their runtime differs. However, the font of the title differs, and also the color, in the film. The color tone.
mhm,
One had very intense oranges, like, had kinda like a blasted sky that felt like kind of the opening of, like, say, Star Trek 5 or something. Um,
okay,
and then one was more muted. And I think the more muted one is the more widely available, at least in the US version. Um,
interesting.
the font that I have that have on the graphic here, Levi, I believe that was the one that, was featured in the version with the more intense color, with the higher contrast. Um, maybe you can help me with this, being as I know you're a bit of a comic guy. This font makes me think of I don't know the author's name, but that's, I guess, what I'm asking is, the Max
Uh,
from the '90s.
yes,
The font makes me think of the Max.
yeah, it's doggone it.
I
I cannot think of the team on that. It's funny that you bring up a comics comparison because I was actually going to say that it's like so with these two alternate cuts, we have a Killing Joke situation where it's
eh
like we have like two primary different coloring situations. One is widely available, one isn't.
yeah, actually, that's an apt comparison. Brian Boland, I think, was the penciler on that one. I
Incredible.
yeah, absolutely incredible work. But yeah, the coloring for that, if you don't get the reference that Levi's making here, dear listeners, and hopefully viewers, um, it was reissued, I think, in like the late 2000s or maybe early 2010s, with a digitized recoloring that's actually quite good and has some like impressionistic qualities to it that are unique to that version of it. But it is radically different.
Yeah.
It is so much more vibrant than the original printing.
Well, because the original one had almost like a little bit of psychedelia to it, because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was printed very much like a comic book of its time in the 80s. So it kind of has like a very strange, dreamy color palette, where the reissue is very stark, and in some ways it is colored much more faithful to a sense of reality, but it uses a lot of like very two-tone black and white, lots of grays in the palette, where it gives the thing much more shadows and everything else. It looks much more like a traditional Batman comic that you would see today, where the original coloring scheme is pretty much not available anymore. Eh, so it's like it's a bit of a toss up which people prefer. Brian Bolland said like, "Oh yeah, this is how I wanted to do it, but they wouldn't let me." So you're like, do you like the director's cut or do you not like the director's cut? It's kind of up to you, but for most people, only one of them is available. It's sort of like Blade Runner in that way, where
Yeah.
you're like, I'm sorry for those of you that for some reason like the Harrison Ford narration, you can't get it.
Mm. I went under the tent and I had a noodle dish. It was very warm. I
Oh,
needed it in the cold rain.
cold
Replicates.
fish.
Am I a replicant? I don't know. It's maybe.
With his dying words, he taught me something important.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
Unicorns. What are they doing? Who put that unicorn in here? Jesus.
Skin jobs is what he called them. He would have been the type of people that would have called. I don't think I can say that, Ridley. I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Okay, I'm saying it.
Do I have to? Yeah, that is a horrendous dub. But as far as I can tell, it's a bit of a troll job on the part of Harrison Ford. He was required to do it. He did it, but he didn't do it well.
Yeah, from what I understand, he was like, "Listen, I didn't intentionally bomb the thing, but I was frustrated with the whole process, and that does come out in the recording. And
Mhm.
when I heard it back, I'm like, this isn't good, and I don't think they're gonna use it,
Yep.
which is probably for the better. But he's like, I didn't intentionally bomb it, but it was bad, and I knew it was bad after the fact, and I am shocked they used it.
I'm shocked they used quite a lot of the material in Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time. But
Yeah,
before
you'll notice
before
that we're trying to talk around this movie.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the thing just yet. And hey, guess what? We're not yet ready because I want to play a game with you first, Levi. While we're, making references to other things and associations and stuff, I started off my notes like I went back in retrospect and I just jotted down a lot of things that this was reminding me of, this
Yeah,
movie, because in 1991, like, I was just running other movies through my head, and I was like, "In 1991, what was going on? What what influenced this thing?" And I'm curious what like, if you had any other things that came to mind. You had the key one, honestly, in the form of Highlander 2: The Quickening. Levi
same
Le
year.
Same year. That's nuts.
It was a
Yeah.
bad year to be a fantasy sequel.
Yeah, fantasy sequels with swords and sorcery, not 1991, not a good year. But yet Levi had messaged me upon watching this film, or in the midst of watching it, maybe. He was like, I feel like I need to watch Highlander 2 or something because like this feels like that kind of ugly." And I gotta say the comparison is startling. Actually, there's a lot of symmetry between the two of them. But some other movies that came to mind for me were Beverly Hills Cop and Crocodile Dundee,
Mm,
and by
mm.
extension, Suburban Commando all kinda came to mind, where it's that fish out of water kinda scenario. Um, and Star Trek V also. Um, I mentioned
Yeah,
that earlier also, um, because of the wrong-headedness of the direction, but also the presence of some measure of ambition, but also the lack of logic and the wrong-headedness of the decision making on the film. Like it has an internal logic, I just don't have the means of identifying it because like clearly decisions are being made, but there's no cohesion between any of them. It's
no.
it's very much the Ed Wood, Bela Lugosi, "Let's shoot this fucker" kinda thing as far as I can
Yeah,
tell, especially by the halfway point. But
just
yeah, Star Trek V came to mind.
just shake the eagle around. Make it looks like it's killing you.
Oh, jeez. I mean, yes, you kinda get that vibe at a certain point. And also, there's a movie that I haven't watched, but I did intend to watch, and I still may, because I've been watching a lot of Barbarian cinema this month just as a form of research. Um, I caught wind of it, just a few days ago. It's called Time by Barbarians, and I believe it's from the same year as this, and it stars Darren McBee. Now, if I say that name to you, Levi, I don't expect you to have a face in mind, but do you know who that is?
The name rings a bell?
So Darren McBee is Malibu from American Gladiators,
Oh, okay.
and he
Yeah.
was also Motaro in Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
Mhm,
and he was
mhm.
also in Dragon Strike, the VHS board game.
Yes.
So Darren McBee, for all his muscles and stuff, he's probably a huge nerd as far as I can tell.
Oh,
Like he's
dude.
probably
Yeah.
he's probably one of those guys that actually played D&D when he was young, and also he did some Sega CD games, I think. Terror Tracks, I think is what it's called. So he he has an affinity for fantasy and science fiction and stuff. But yeah, apparently it's called Time Barbarians.
Okay.
Features a similar like barbarians go through a portal to the modern world kind of plot, and it stars him. And he's a charming motherfucker. I've seen him
Yes,
in a
he
lot of stuff.
is.
He is a charming
He
motherfucker.
did what he lacks. We talked last time about like real muscle bound talent that simply does not. They don't have a screen presence where it's like Mr. McBee. I think could carry a movie like that. Like that sounds kind of fun.
I want to watch it. Like I haven't tracked it down just yet. Like I said, I became aware of it only a couple of days ago, but it sounds kind of charming. And I've never seen him headline a movie before. Like I said, I just rattled off several things that I've actually seen him in, and he's not half bad. It's I will watch this movie. I will watch Time Barbarians. Maybe I'll even sneak in a quick episode or something on it,
Yeah,
depending on how it goes.
color me interested. I mean, I'll see what I can do about hunting down a copy. Yeah, for me, what kept coming to mind, well, I mean, first of all, Highlander 2. Um, it, I intended to watch Highlander 2 before this because I'm like, I don't know which is worse. I don't know which pains me more. Um, it just because it's so strange because I mentioned this in the first episode how they seem to have these linked fates, Highlander and Beastmaster. Like they seem to have this strange linking of fates, which is even crazier with the sequels both coming out in 1991, like a mere months apart. And there's something very, very funny about that to me. The other one that comes to mind, you already mentioned earlier, is Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Because we have that same sort of big, grand, epic scale, and then we're spit out into the modern world where it's so ill-advised. If I could come up with the most charitable word, like the most charitable set or phrase that I could use to describe Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time, it is ill-advised. If I was being blunt, so I took 5 pages of notes. I took 5 pages of notes here on my legal pad. The word sucks and the 2 words shut up appear more often than anything else in my notes.
Oh dear.
They appear constantly. I watched this movie after having about 2 hours of sleep. I was in a lot of pain. It was one of those like not great nights where I woke up and like you're running on not a whole lot of anything. Your body hasn't had the chance to repair and recharge, so I'm not in the best mood. But I'm like, you know what? We're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch Beastmaster 2 because this is the only time I have this week to sit down and watch this. And I was beside myself. I'm like, this is dreadful. This is absolutely awful. And I do my best to be charitable where I can be. I try my very best to see the good in art, any art, all art. It's like I try and recognize and give credit where credit is due. This was painful.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of sound clips here that I'm going to play that after all the goodwill that we gave to Beastmaster, the Beastmaster. Let's be proper.
The Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster. But when you get to Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time, it's just
betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Yeah, if you're a fan of the Beastmaster, Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time is, as Noah Antwiler, the Spoony One himself, said, a betrayal of all that came before. Like, even if you're not a fan of the film, just like if you're going to make a sequel to that film, ill-advised, as Levi had said, is probably what comes to mind. Is like there were just a lot of very poor choices made, and this approach was not the approach. I think
Yeah.
the Masters of the Universe comparison is spot on because the opening of that movie and the production design of the Eternia sequences
It's pretty cool.
is pretty fucking cool. Like for a kid, especially, it's like shit. They
Well, I
did
mean,
it.
and like freaking Ivan Drago is there as He-Man, and you're like,
Well, everybody's there. Like they had a very large cast of like all the characters that had
yeah,
action figures
and
that
they
kids
look
had.
good.
They look good. The sets, the costuming, even the optical effects look good. The problem is like 70 minutes of that fucker is not that. It's Courtney Cox in a small town with He-Man just there, kind of just farting around, looking like he
Yeah,
doesn't want to be there. But whenever we're in Eternia, it's bookended by goodness, by good shit. This one only has an opening, and then after that, everything's garbage.
it, yeah. I
It's like
if
G.I. Joe the movie. It's the first 5 minutes of that film are the best 5 minutes of any film,
that there
and then the
is,
rest of the movie happens.
I I put on the opening to GI Joe the movie at regular intervals
Same here.
because it is
Cobra.
because it is the greatest thing ever put to celluloid, and almost single-handedly, like when I think of my time in military service, I think of that opening. Like it's because there is something to watching Hawk with a machine gun. If there's something about that animation of Hawk with the machine gun going across with GI Joe is the name of the Special Operations Force. I'm like, this this is why I joined our nation's service.
Yes.
I
Yes.
it's like
Little did we know the Statue of Liberty was of absolute strategic importance.
dude, I there's something I was GI Joe and Transformers and DC Comics were my three really big things growing up. Godzilla was also there at a close like fourth. Um and yeah, there's a lot of GI Joe rolling through my head at any given time. That opening 5 minutes in particular of just like, and then yeah, then the rest of the movie happens, and you're like, well, I was a man.
Oh god. Yeah. Cobra Commander subplot. Yeah.
Burgess
Levi turns into
Meredith?
Levi turns into that guy from Independence Day after the Whitmore speech, the hardest salute ever given in cinema.
Abso-friggin-lutely. Like, I swell with pride every time I watch that. I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever put to film. Um,
Yeah.
what comes to mind, so that behind the scenes featurette, I
Yeah.
wanted to just point out two things. First of all, Sylvio Tabet wearing his Steven Spielberg hat.
Oh,
He's wearing the Navy cap.
he
He's
is.
wearing a Navy cap.
He
It's
is.
just like he's like, yes, I am a big shot director. This is directors in America. It's it's so funny.
He's for
Like
children. He's for the kids.
it's for the kids, it's for the families. I was laughing so hard looking at that because I thought immediately of Spinal Tap.
Oh no. Wow.
But I can sum up to you exactly where this movie goes wrong
Sure.
from that featurette. The over the top announcer states, they may be heroes in their world, but they're hilarious in ours. It is at that point that whoever came up with that idea murdered this movie. Because every it reveals the goals of the picture, where and it reveals it blatantly. The book has been open to you. Like, here's the plan. We are taking this franchise. We are taking this thing that, for all of its faults, for all the goofiness, for all of the what the hell are the bad people, um, was earnest. Very, very earnest. And it is now a goofy fish out of water comedy. We have decided to make a goofy fish out of water comedy out of these characters. And this is where it has gone horribly, terribly wrong. Um, the other movie that comes to mind, and this only came to mind because we mentioned Noah Antweiler, Spoonie. Spoonie, if you can somehow hear this, please come back to us.
No, we
Um,
love you, Spoonie. You're
we
great.
love you, buddy. We love you. We want the best for you. He he brought this clip up because he is also a Beastmaster fan. He did a review of Beastmaster 2, which he was not very kind to it. Um, as no one should be. It deserves every single piece of criticism it can get. Um, he brought a clip of Superman 2 because there's a moment where they're standing and they're looking at the city. It's like, what do you call this place? The denizens call it LA. And Spoonie brings up the clip from Superman 2 of Ursa, Zod, and Nan standing on the moon, like, we shall visit this Houston.
And at Houston.
And it clicked in my brain. I'm like, this is the Richard Lester cut of Superman 2.
Wow.
And what hit me is that I'm like, the Donner cut is how you actually do this story right. Is like, okay, so you have a threat from another world entering modern contemporary society. And it's like everyone's like, whoa, that's weird. Oh, look, like that's a bad outfit. Like you have those moments of where people are like, clearly this is ridiculous and strange, and what the hell are these guys doing? But in the case of Superman, he's so earnest that everyone's like, who are you? And in the case of Ursa, Zod, and Nan, they are so horrific and they are so aggressive and they are so strong and controlling that it
Mhm.
doesn't matter that they're wearing v-neck black jumpsuits, and it doesn't matter if they're like pronouncing the names of things wrong. When Zod steps into the Oval Office and looks down at the seal of the presidency and says, I see you worship things that fly. Good.
Mhm.
You believe him. And it's like, that's the way to do this. Cause I was trying to think, I'm like, in what way does this movie work? How could you make this plot work? And as soon as Noah brought up that clip, I'm like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. It's the Donner cut of Superman 2. And we're watching the Lester cut of Superman 2.
So I need to pause for just 1 second to point something out. I don't know if this is a coincidence, probably. I just rewatched Conan the Destroyer and Conan the Barbarian, and actually wrote. I don't often write reviews on Letterboxd. I usually just give star ratings just as a diary, basically, just to be able to retrace my steps and like track what I've been watching and how I felt about it. Sometimes though, I write reviews, and I actually wrote a pretty lengthy one for Conan the Destroyer, and that is like verbatim what the comparison that I made was. Conan the Destroyer is to Conan the Barbarian as the Richard Lester cut of Superman 2 is to the Richard Donner cut or the Richard Donner Superman. It's it's still, I mean, in this case Beastmaster 2 doesn't work, but Conan the Destroyer for me, the tonal dissonance is kind of what ruins it. The branding is what ruins it, but it's still a competent film. It's
Yeah.
just when it's attached to what came before, it's very jarring. It feels incorrect. Um, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I also brought up Superman 2 in a review for
Yeah.
a fantasy sequel just the other day. Um, but I think the main thing is that I actually have a note. I don't know pages because I wrote on a notepad 7,072 characters of notes for this. Uh, so quite a lot. In my case, instead of shut up, I wrote ugh. Uh, it's there a lot. Um, but at a certain point, I recall writing a note where I think I just typed like, I, I don't think we have a script anymore. Like it's when we're in LA. It's around the time they're driving around. It's around the time Arklon goes to get a wardrobe change. Is like I don't
It
think we have anything anymore.
it becomes, Hercules in New York, where it's just like Arnold wandering, and you're
Yeah,
like, "What are we doing?
we're just
What
shooting stuff.
what are we doing?" Like, it's become the fantasy version of Man with a Movie Camera, like, "We're just here.
Yeah, we're
We're
just
just
doing stuff.
here."
Yeah. That's what I get from about the second half of the movie, like, is it completely goes off the rails, like, there's no direction, there's no flow to anything. Um, I think what you would need to do is, 1, have a script, but 2, um,
For instance.
yeah, for instance, maybe have a script. But the main thing is, you don't have not every story needs to have character arcs. Like you can have you can have a static character just fine. You can write a story and have that be engaging. There are ways of doing that. But if you're doing a fish out of water and they don't do any of this, they don't even touch this at all in this. What you're supposed to do is have the characters learn from each other, is
Yeah,
have Dar show up and have his differences rub off on the person who he partners with. Carrie Wurr, Jackie, I think's the character's name.
yeah,
You have to have him rub off on her, and in return, she rubs off on him. He learns things from her, and he teaches her things.
Trevor. He learns what asshole is. That's his
Asshole.
arc.
That's his arc. He learns the word asshole, and that's where the Highlander 2 thing like completely clicked. Was shithead. What's a
What?
shithead?
I was thinking as soon as that came up, I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
that's what that is.
it's also Star Trek 4. Well, double asshole to you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so Star Trek. Let's add another Star Trek to the things that
Yeah,
this reminds
exactly.
us of. But yeah, this at a certain point in this movie, it just things just start happening. It's almost like the ending of spoilers, I guess, like the ending of Brazil or something, where it's like the walls of reality are crashing down. Nothing makes sense. You open a door, and now we're in a different
James
part of town.
Hauser got eaten by newspapers.
Yeah, Robert De Niro got eaten by newspaper. It's that's what it feels like. It's like just things start happening. The internal logic of the thing never existed in the first place,
It
but
just
now it's
breaks
like
down.
it's actively like fighting against itself. It's like the movie doesn't want to be because like Arklon can just he just does stuff and
It's
Carrie Moore is driving construction vehicles and
one
Arklon's
of
powers are nebulous at best.
one of my I've always been a defender of RoboCop 2.
Same
If
here.
if only because RoboCop 2 is the scriptwriters of RoboCop 2 being like, "Fuck you for making me write RoboCop 2. I hate being here and get me out of here and get me away from this. And why are we making this?" Because it's like the very concept of we make RoboCop 2 in universe, but it keeps killing itself.
It
It's
doesn't want to be.
it doesn't want to be, and we try and give RoboCop all these like child friendly directives, and it makes him worthless. And it's like so all of the meta commentary on it just makes me laugh so hard that I'm like I'm in it. Um, it this movie is trying to RoboCop 2 itself, where it's just like, just get me out of here. Rip off the faceplate and let me
Ah!
it's
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. I have seldom seen a movie that's trying to assassinate itself. Like, it's trying to strangle itself in the womb.
it's so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Let's start
In
at
the
the
beginning.
beginning. In the beginning, there is an opening text crawl that essentially says the first movie happened, but no, it absolutely didn't. Um,
Oh, yeah, and we're
the
gonna tell you everything that happened in the first movie about 3 times. So
Yeah,
what's the point of having this crawl if we're gonna have characters deliver the same messaging via dialogue a couple more
yeah.
times?
So it establishes the first movie happened.
Yes.
Mayax was a thing, and
Mayax
Dark killed
was.
him. Mayax was. Darkseid is. Mayax was. Um, so Mayax was. He is not. Dar killed him. Um, so we have to assume, and then it goes on to say that a new power, Arklon, currently still has a grip of dominion over the land, and Dar is leading freedom fighters against him. We do not really see that because Dar is immediately, we are introduced to Dar already captured by Arklon's men. So we have to draw a few things here. Either no time has passed, which is really strange because Arklon has never been brought up again, and it kind of gives the impression that there's been time because it's like, okay, the layout and the land and everything is very, very different because it's been 10 years between movies. But the problem is everyone talks about Mayax like this happened like 3 months ago. Um, Tal is never mentioned again. So presumably Tal is dead? Like he did die from that crossbow bolt to the chest?
Yeah, maybe he got an infection and didn't actually make it. Like,
Yeah,
their thoughts were premature. It's like, "He'll be fine." It's like, "Oh, he's not fine."
yeah. So Tal is presumably dead because there's nobody there, and
Yeah,
it's like,
Dar says he has no family, and I was like, "You have a half brother. He's
yeah,
a king."
you have a half brother and your sister-in-law, cousin. Uh,
Yeah, Tanya Roberts is somehow connected to the gene pool. I don't know exactly
I
how.
don't know,
You don't fuck with that, Dar.
but
Just don't mess with
So,
that.
so this scroll specifically says, in the wake of the death of King Zed, things broke down. Except King Zed had been in captivity for so long that it wouldn't have mattered.
Also, Mayax killed him in the first
Yeah.
Beastmaster. He slit his throat. So
So
this must be like 5 minutes later, I guess.
yeah. So it's like the concept of how much time has passed is really nebulous and strange. So we are then introduced to Dar, drug into the giant cave lair of Arklon, who again rules the world. He rules this whole region from a cave, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, and he has his row of judges, and we have a spare me this mockery of justice
Yeah. Has his
moment.
imperial magistrate made a verdict?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Guilty
Guilty or
or
innocent?
innocent. Like so we
Innocent.
have so he's brought to trial before the imperial magistrate, and they pull the hood off, and it's Mark Singer, who is 10 years older. um, he looks he's still fit, he's still got it, but he is 10 years older. You can see it
It
in his
happens.
face. Happens to all of us,
Mhm.
his something about his hair and makeup is just not right. It's not good. They We see that it is very clearly a wig in the post production, that they put a wig on him, and the wig is not good. It doesn't look right. It makes him look older than
Mhm.
he is
It has no
because
bounce to it. It's very stiff.
no, no, it doesn't look very good. Um, Arklon then steps in to gloat. And Trevor, tell us about Arklon.
Arklon is played by actor Wings Hauser, who I think has passed away, probably in recent years. I don't know. Be honest, I've never quite seen the beauty of the man's soul. I know he had an established acting career. He did a lot of stuff. Did a lot of direct to video Drek on top of that, though. And I've noticed a tendency in his performances in kind of like schlocky productions is the man seems to have a need to improvise, and it's present in this film. You'll just notice like there's just certain quirks in his performances. There's like a certain repetition, like an almost like Robert De Niro like repetition to certain lines being said, like reiterated like three different times in three different tones or something, just because. And
Mhm.
also just like strange Wings Hauserisms. Like I remember I think the movie's called Nightmare at Noon. He has a running gag in there that I have to assume is an improvised thing about microwave croissants. That's like that just seems so strange and totally out of place. That just seems like something somebody decided to he probably decided to do as an actor. He did a movie called The Carpenter. That it's like a Canadian horror movie that actually looks like kind of like a fun psycho thriller of sorts. And of course, if you're a fan of Red Letter Media, he's featured quite prominently in a film called Get Even or Get Even, also known as Champagne and Bullets, also known as Road to Revenge. Pretty sure all of his dialogue in that very, very, very low budget film is improvised. Anyway, Arklon Wingshauser's portrayal of Arklon here is he's going for something over the top, but he doesn't quite hit the top. It's not big enough nor dumb enough nor clever enough to really work.
Yeah.
Like if say Raul Julia or something was playing this
Oh
role,
my goodness.
you would get some good shit out of this. Like you get some good fun shit out of this. Here it's like it feel like he's the material is very limited and unfortunately he's floundering with it a bit. Like he's not making something of nothing. And so it's a I can't blame the man. Like he is given nothing to work with, but at the same time, it's like if you had found something, if you had latched onto something, if you had innovated something, this could have been fun. Instead, it's very tedious and awkward. Is like a big thing that comes to mind. There's certain lines he's delivering that's like I don't know if he was told to do that or not, but like
It,
that felt very weak and like first draft, like just
it
like first thing that came to mind.
it's like he's on a forced scenery diet. He's not he desperately wants to chew, but he's not being given enough to chew on.
Well, he also doesn't
Because
find it palatable.
no, because the thing is that it's like there are moments where he's dangerously close
Mhm,
to actually like getting a handful and getting it to his mouth and just chewing the scenery and really kind of reveling in it, which is what you want. You kind of want him to do this.
mhm,
Um because the movie doesn't have anything else going for it. I mean, even like Rip Torn as our villain in the first film never quite gets to scenery chewing because there is enough for him to work with, but there is kind of this quality where he is big. He is a
mhm,
big character. And the problem is that nobody in this film, it's too small of a pen and there's not enough to chew on.
mhm,
And it ranges from either too small and nobody can move or too big so nobody knows what the boundaries are. Nobody even knows where to go with anything. So it's like we have a script that is simultaneously way too loose and also way too bare. So there's just nothing for people to grasp onto where you kind of hope, and this is the difference between Highlander 2 and this. And I was thinking about this, I was really turning it over. I'm like, there's a conversation that I heard once between bartenders where they're like, "What is the song you put on at the end of the night to clear people out? What is the music you put on without having to tell everybody get the hell out of the bar? What is music that you can put on that is so unpleasant that people will want to leave?" um, and I had that thought. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to clear a party. I want people out of my house. Which of these do I put on? Which of these movies do I put on to clear the freaking room? Um,
Beastmaster 2, no, like,
it's
hands down.
Beastmaster 2.
Yeah,
It's Beastmaster 2
it is.
because Highlander 2, there is enough batshit insane things in that movie that keeps you engaged. It's
Mhm.
not good. It's
No.
watching the franchise getting flushed down the toilet. It's watching genuinely good actors just working with material that is horrible. But let me tell you, Michael Ironsides is horrifically entertaining to
He
watch.
is. He's having fun.
Um, is it Dr. Cox, whose
John
name
C. McGinley.
John C. McGinley is having is doing his thing. Everyone is in it. Sean Connery, for all his like, listen, he doesn't have much to do in the first film either, but
No.
he is putting in everything he can. Even when he is bored, the guy's a class act. It's like Highlander 2 is insane enough that you're like, okay, no, I think we can deal with this. Beastmaster 2, there is not enough for anybody to do. I came to the conclusion that I'm like, no, this may be the worst franchise movie I've ever seen. This may be the worst because it is a total betrayal and there is so little for everyone to work with. It is just
Betrayal!
exactly. It is painful. It is so painful because I can't even summon enough enthusiasm to laugh at it. All I can do is sit there in slack-jawed awe at how much this is hurting me.
Betrayed me!
It's like having a child get eviscerated right in front of you. It's just like, I just have to watch this? Like, what? They massacred my boy. Like,
I that is the clip that came to mind. Is done. Look what they've done to my boy. They've massacred my boy.
I mean, really,
They've
after all
done
the
to him.
goodwill we heaped on the Beastmaster, it's truly remarkable just how badly they fucked themselves. And I think it's actually really, really accurate what you were saying about the nature of the script and the material is like it even extends to the framing in some respects, where it's like, I don't think the blocking was established in a lot of these shots. I think the actors didn't even really know where they were supposed to be standing in relation to each other or their environs. Like it's like you said, it's simultaneously too vast a canvas to work with and also too confining. It's kind of an interesting affair, but um, man, the Highlander 2 comparisons just go they're endless. Because like, I mean, they're both movies that mentioned them several times at this point, no Antwile or Spoonie. I despised and did reviews for in the early days of the internet. Um, and 2, I'd say that both movies have like exactly one instance where they take the core idea, the core concept, the core gimmick of the franchise and actually do something kind of neat with it.
Yeah.
Like both movies have like exactly one instance of it. And in Highlander 2's case, it's when they get in the car and they storm the castle basically and they just get shot to shit because they know they're immortal. Like they know that they have to be decapitated to be killed. So it doesn't matter how many times they get shot.
Yeah, and
Just
that scene
just
was
go.
awesome.
That was a cool idea. Like that, like again, to make it like a comic book comparison, we talked about this before. Like that's part of the charm of writing those kinds of characters is a good writer will exploit, make use of the things that make that character them, makes them interesting. It's like Daredevil has all these powers, Spider-Man has all these powers, a clever writer will find interesting ways, innovative ways to make use of those things and portray that character utilizing their abilities in ways that maybe you hadn't considered before. And it's like, wow, yeah, if you knew you could do that, then why wouldn't you do that? I didn't think of that. In Highlander 2's case, like we said, we have that. In this one, we have Dar communicating with an animal that isn't one of his friends exactly one time. And it's
And
actually kind of cool.
I wrote it down. I
Yeah.
was like, so we have the scene where it
Yeah.
is Arklon Wingshauser comes into gloat before Mark Singer, before Dar, and we have a pretty fun action scene. It's a little it's a here's the thing. It's lensed very nicely. I
Yes.
like the way that it is cut and lensed.
Yes.
The scene has a kinetic energy. Um, Even if there are some moments where it's a little kitty. It's a little kitty in moments. Like there's moments where Dar has like one of the judges on the ropes and has him dead to rights, and he swings his axe, but he hits him flat across the face with it instead of just lopping the dude's head off. And it's weird because this is a PG-13 film and the original film was PG. So technically speaking, we have more of a canvas to do more with this. I
Yeah.
don't know why this movie's PG-13.
I don't either.
This is like,
Sarah Douglas's outfits, maybe.
dude, like on a PG, we had multiple child deaths, multiple animal deaths, and like we had bare breasts, we had all this stuff. We had like some real stuff in that first film. And this movie feels so much more sanitized and totally defanged, and yet it has a higher rating.
It
It's
should
really
be
weird.
PG, honestly. Like, I thought it was. I didn't actually check the rating. I just assumed it was a PG. This is the Ninja Turtles 2 effect,
Yeah. No,
where
that's another good comparison, actually.
maybe even the same year, honestly.
Maybe 1991 was just a bad year to be a franchise sequel.
Yeah, to be a number 2, but, yeah, if you don't understand the reference, like in Ninja Turtles, parents groups and censorship kinda descended upon, the Ninja Turtles franchise, and we had the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie that has a lot of teeth to it, and is a very, very fun movie with a lot of, like, texture to it,
Yeah.
and it's very sincere. You get to Ninja Turtles 2, which I adore because I was born in the year 1987, and I watched the shit out of that movie when I was a little kid. I would never say it's a better movie than the first one, but by the time you get to just that 1 year difference, like the Leonardo's katanas had to stay in their sheath is what happened. Is we no longer can show Leonardo swinging swords at living human beings on the cartoon. They had some latitude because they're fighting robots and alien monsters and stuff and mutants. But even then, Michelangelo at a certain point, it's like nunchucks are dangerous for kids. We got a whole bunch of kids on the schoolyard just whapping the shit out of each other with these sticks and chains. How about we give them a grappling hook
Yeah.
instead?
Sam Rockwell can't openly sell cartons of cigarettes to 12-year-olds.
Even menthol. No, can't do it. No. So yeah, here we have, like Levi had said in the making of featurette, we have a director, a production. Remember, he's also the producer. A production that the intention is apparently to nail a family audience. Like kids like to be entertained, and I don't know if there's much entertainment in this movie. So that extends to the action. Is that Dar doesn't, I don't think, intentionally kill anyone in this movie.
I don't think so, no.
I think it just happens. Like Robert Zadar and the other goon, he like he tosses him, and then the guy just happens to fall on Robert Zadar's sword. So it's like, whoops, I accidentally killed somebody.
Robert Zadar must have been blinking you miss it, because I saw his name in the credits and I'm like, "Ooh, Robert Zadar," and I couldn't find him.
So the man's chin is, of course, his most prominent
Yeah.
and obvious feature. They have him wearing this helmet that's like boxing in his chin, and it makes that head look normal.
That
If
must
you
have been
have that
why
head,
I missed him.
yeah, if you have that head, use it.
Yeah. You keeping the maniac cop covered up like this?
Yeah, I mean, even in like Tango and Cash, it's like they shot and lit that man to exploit that man's bone structure because it is a hell of a bone structure.
You bet it is.
I thought that shit was makeup. It's like, no, that's just him.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Maniac Cop is the king of chin movies. Between
Yeah.
Rob Zadar and Bruce Campbell, like it's all chin.
Yeah, it's all chin all day. But yeah, I mean, also we have casual Michael Berryman at the end of this one. So it's like you have unique looking individuals. Maybe showcase them. Don't put him in a floppy eared cap or whatever that doesn't show us Michael Berryman. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we have our escape sequence, which got me thinking. Like, is this the way you open this movie? Because I get it. We're doing like a I don't know, like a Star Wars or an Indiana Jones or a James
It's
Bond thing.
it's a
Open on
media
action.
res. Yeah.
Yes. It's a media res, toss you into the deep end. We're already hitting the ground running kind of situation. But, like, the very next scene, basically, we get to see the menace of Arklon. Like, we actually get to see him be effective, but instead, we open our movie with him being grossly ineffective. And in fact, the structuring of this escape sequence, like you had said, Levi, this location, and indeed a lot of the outdoor locations in Dar's world, in the kingdom of it's Aruk in the Beastmaster, in this, it's Arok. And
Yeah.
I wanna say that came about, I'm not sure. I wanna say that came about because Wings Hauser says Arok very distinctly, and maybe they only had that audio or something. They're like, "Well, if, the king of this land is saying it that way, I guess that's what it is." So the name of the world changes between films by one letter. Um, all the stuff that takes place in Dar's world looks great. Like the locations are stunning in a lot of cases, and this cave is well lit. The set is well constructed. It's a cool space,
Oh
and they
yeah.
make good use of it. Like Levi had said, it's lensed and lit very well. The cut of it is fine. The action is toothless and intentionally tame, where it's like we're doing a lot of flips and a lot of hitting people with the broadside of weapons when it's like you have a blade available to you. It's like why not just use it? But the structure here is what baffles me is like we actually have a setup that does actually remarkably have a payoff. Is Sharak, the eagle, has beef with Arkland. Like we
Yeah.
established that in this opening sequence where Dar is being helped out by his animal buddies. Everybody's back inexplicably. So Ru is back, but no longer a black tiger. He was supposed to be a panther, but he's a tiger. He's a tiger. Um, Sharak the eagle, um, and
Ooh,
Kodo and Podo both.
Chirac. Do we hear Chirac's name before like the hour and a half mark?
No, absolutely not.
We hear Chirac's name like incidentally an hour and a half into the movie, and I'm like, apparently the eagle has a name because the eagle did not have a name in the first film.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse is giving Sharak a name so deep into this one, or the utter absence and disregard for Kodo and Podo in this film. Where it's just
It's
like
so
there's a
sad.
scene where he jumps into a car and it's just like, "Oh, and you're here." It's like
Coco and
more
Poe.
it's like the final act. He's like, "Oh yeah, you've been here the whole time." Kodo 2, by the way. Uh,
Yeah.
Kodo Jr.
So we have to okay. This is again one of the problems where how much time has passed because are these the second sets of Podo and Kodo? Like the babies, the bubbles that we
The
saw in the
Bibbers.
first film? Or is this just like one or the other and the other one's gone? Are we just retconning that? Like the fact that that Rue is now a regular tiger instead of a dyed black tiger? I I don't
There's
it's
no continuity here.
there's
Like,
but they here's the
they
problem.
try. They try.
The problem is that if the film was just like, and this is another adventure of Beastmasters, and they didn't invoke anything else, I would have been like, okay, there's just no continuity between the series. The problem is they try to.
Yeah.
King Zed, Mayax, the whole ritual, all this stuff, it's all brought up. It's all
Mhm.
brought up to bring you back up to speed. But then there's just stuff that is just completely ignored. It's just gone.
In the act of trying, they have failed. It would have been better to just make it a unique story. Just say, and now another adventure of Dar, and
Yeah.
just leave it at that. And like I said, they mention it through exposition at least twice. Once in the opening credits and the crawl, and then at least twice in dialogue. This is Dar. This is what he's done. This is what he can do.
Yeah.
It's like it's told to us quite explicitly. It's like, just call it good and move on. But anyway, so in the midst of his escape, we get to see Arklon has a key that it's like the key of Magog, I think is what he calls
The
it,
Key of Magog. Yes.
and it shoots green stuff. Sometimes lasers, sometimes swirls, sometimes it doesn't even work. It at
Sometimes
least
sometimes it blows wind, sometimes it brings wind towards it.
it's quite nebulous as to what this thing's function is. But point is, it seems powerful and dangerous. He whips that out, and Sharrak scratches his face, which we later see makes him don a he becomes bemasked at that point in the
Mhm.
film. He has like a half mask covering the scratches on his face.
Yeah.
But when he's being scratched, there's this bit where Dar is now free, all the guards have been dispatched. There's more on the way, but, like, the room is basically clear, and Arklon's going, "Ah, my frickin' eye," and Dar's like, "We should leave." And, like, Arklon is defenseless going, "Ah, my freaking eye," and, like, Dar has his tiger friend, he has his eagle friend, he's got his ferrets, he's got a fucking axe and a sword, and he's like, I don't think now is the time to stab him. And he just leaves. And we have this naked shot of just Arklon going, ah, and Dar's just like, bye.
Yeah. It's
It's very
weird.
clunky. It's like, don't do that. Just have a bunch of guys come in and like pull Arklon away or something. Just like make it clear or Dar can't take him now. Like he has an opening to leave and he must leave. Instead, it reads visually as like Dar, you fucking moron. But yeah, this is when he uses his power to buck a guard off of a horse by talking to the horse, which I thought like I actually have in parentheses, just good. Like that was a
Yeah.
cool thing. Like that's a thing that the Beastmaster, now demoted to Beastmaster, should do in his own films, but it's the only time he does it.
Yeah. It's a great evolution. It's a great evolution of showing the powers that he had in the first one
Yeah.
in a way that is neat that we hadn't done before. I'm like, that's very useful. And it's not something that I would have thought of. Like, oh yeah, he can just tell that horse to be like, yeah, get him off here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't recall instances of him doing that in the first film. Like he had his animal friends, but we didn't like have him just casually talking to other animals in the environment. Like he talks to the bear when he's a kid, but that's something you could have done more with, like have him talk to a house cat or have him talk to a dog or something. Like just do more of that. But no, it's the only instance of it in the entire film. And then he takes off on horseback, and the score is really putting in work, by the way.
Like it's still Diet Williams, but it's pretty nice.
It dips into a lot of different flavors, actually. It's one of those scores that this happens a lot of times where you have this like sumptuous, like rich orchestral sound, but there's just not the right thematic like special sauce there that makes it memorable. It's like it's a wonderful canvas to play with. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't stick with you. It's lovely to the ear, but it just doesn't speak to your heart kind of. Um, it's by Robert Folk, who is not known to me as a composer, but has a very, very modern, like orchestral, almost like metropolitan sound to it. It reminded me of a
Yeah.
lot of things, like Basil Polidorus, in particular, in the later, like during the finale. There's like a synth like thrumming that's playing that really, really, really reminded me of the RoboCop score.
Yeah.
There's some Jerry Goldsmith at work here. Um, it sounds nice, but like I said, it doesn't speak to you. Like you won't remember a single melody of this, but it makes the thing feel expensive, I guess. And it at times the score is really flexing a lot of muscles, and this opening sequence for sure is one of those instances. But um the next scene is the one that I was kind of like floating is like, I don't know, maybe this is how you open the movie instead, because you get to see your villain effective as opposed to like scarred and flailing around and looking like an idiot. So this was when what are these supposed to be the rebels? I didn't quite catch that.
I think so.
Maybe guys, bunch of guys and Sarah Douglas. So this is where
Yeah.
the Superman 2 connection, I guess, it pops up again. So we have the witch Lorana, played by Sarah Douglas, who is Ursa in Superman 2.
Yep.
And she's being brought along by a group of fellas on horseback and stuff. And we get some boob jokes that are probably a holdover from Jim Wynorski's script.
Yeah.
Levi, your face.
It's Sarah Douglas is a beautiful woman. She's very lovely. And there is a running gag that makes I it's not funny, it's not good, it's not clever. There's like a utterance of a "I will cleave your black heart from your bosom" is the phrase that is used. And she has like this sort of like, "I think a man such as you would have better use for my bosom." Like it's stupid, but then she keeps bringing it up because people are like, "If you betray me," she's like, "Yeah, you'll cleave my black heart from my bosom." And I'm like, "That isn't fun or clever or interesting. Stop it." It's so clunky.
It's a mouthful is what it is.
Yeah.
It's clunky, it's not snappy enough or quick enough.
Well, and the other problem is that it is so specific. It's
Mhm.
so specific of a phrasing and of a line that it's like, why would this person say that? Like, it's not like this is a common expression. It's like all of them are used. Like, why would this person say that? Why? Like, this isn't something that you would just like come up with off the dome. So this can't be like, I knew you would say that.
I mean, what you would do with that, I guess, is try to make it a running gag and then have her be wrong. Like, have her be corrected and just have them be like, "No, I was gonna tell you to shut up." It's like
But even then, like, it's not good.
it's not. It's clunky. Um,
Yeah.
but I did mention Jim Wynorski. There was apparently a lawsuit associated with this film wherein Jim Wynorski was, I think, contracted to write a script and and also direct this film.
Yep.
And then at a certain point in the process, our producer Sylvio Tabet stepped in and said, "No, no, I got this." And he excused Jim Wynorski from the production and decided to use elements of what Wynorski had written with his writing partner. And yeah, it resulted in a lawsuit that apparently Jim Wynorski got a decent payout for.
A
And I'm
very generous one from what he says.
from what he says, yeah, it sounds like he could have coasted for the rest of his life off of that. I'm curious what this movie would have been like if he had directed it, because you and I, Deathstalker 2, aka Deathstalker, the good Deathstalker, was Jim Wynorski, and the man has like interesting filmography to say the least. He's done a lot of stuff on the cheap and on the quick.
Yeah.
And he seems like a very competent, very effective director, like regardless of what genre he's working in to some extent. And this kind of like campy, goofy kind of stuff is his forte.
What's handy about Wynorski's style is that he's also, even when he is just goofy,
Mm,
even when he's kind of not my cup of tea, he's fun.
he's fun. Yes.
He knows what he's doing. It's like he is able to give you a product that you can shovel some popcorn into your mouth and you can laugh with your friends and have a good time.
Yeah, and fun is the word that comes to mind with a lot of his stuff. Is it's often very tongue in cheek, it's often very campy, and on top of that, like I said, he seems to have a good sense for how to deliver on time and on budget, and his actors seem to like him too. Like I believe
Yeah.
you see a lot of recurring cast members and crew members in his body of work. So I, I'm curious, like, could this have actually been something if Wynorski had directed it and also worked from his own script? Because from what I can tell, they had fragments of it. Perhaps they probably didn't use the whole thing.
No. Well, and that's it's funny because it was in this scene that I'm like, I'm feeling Wynorski. I'm feeling elements. Because it's like it's very hokey. And it's the way that everyone speaks in this scene is the kind of hokey that Wynorski could make fun and camp, but that Tabet simply can't. He doesn't have the competence or charm as a director to really like make you say yes, I'm having fun. It just comes off as bad.
And also we're stuck here. Like we're gonna hang out here how long? Like, that's the other thing that Wynorski has a good handle on is pacing. Is
Yeah,
he cuts pretty snappily. Like
yeah, it's like
he has an energy of vitality to the way he presents his scenes.
am, am I totally off? Was it Wynorski was Full Moon, right?
I believe, yeah, I think he did one of the Puppet Masters. If not a
Yeah,
few of them.
yeah, it's like the and most of those movies, like especially that came out at Full Moon and those sorts of pictures, they're like 80 minutes. They're real tight. They're tight
Oh, yeah.
pictures.
And a lot of times he was being, like, brought in, like, late in the game. Like, I think it
Yeah.
was Puppet Master 2, he, like the director was it Alan Howarth, I think? Um, stop motion animator.
Yes.
Very, like, great
Yeah.
stop motion
I'm pretty
animator,
sure. Yeah.
but not a director of actors. So Wynorski, as far as I think it was him who was brought in to, like, basically shoot, like, a second unit that was actually first unit, basically, and
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of his gigs was just like, we need this now, can you do it?" And he just, "Sure, got it."
Yeah. I mean, he's competent. He is he is competent and he has a very specific style
Mm,
where it's he is a goofier genre Roger Corman.
yes. Yeah.
And he is although I don't think he's right for the Beastmaster franchise, I think he would have made a significantly more fun movie.
I think he would have seen the flaws in what was in how things were playing out and made changes. I think he would have made
Yes.
decisions for the better in an attempt to not make a bad film.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's like we're just making choices, but I don't think that there's any cohesiveness between any there's no connective tissue between any of these decisions being made. It's just kind of like, let's shoot this fucker.
Yeah.
Go
So
nuts, wings.
so the witch is there, and she is being used as a guide toward Arklon's base for the rebels. Arklon then rocks out of the shadows with his boys, uses the key of Magog, and defeats all of them. Literally, rocks fall, everyone dies. Um,
Literally, yeah.
quite literally. Um, and she is left alive and says essentially like, "Hey, I can get I can give you ultimate power. I have this stuff." I believe she says, "Cool it, your royal dudeness," or something. There's
Chill
like a
out, Lord Dude.
chill out, Lord Dude, which is
Ugh.
one of
That's the
the
first ugh in
worst.
my notes, by the way.
It is one of the worst things that could have been said at that moment. Um, and it's very interesting to me because this chunk, even though that opening escape scene is pretty fun,
It is.
um, and it actually had me being like, okay, all right, you have my attention. This chunk of time, this like first 30 minutes, actively builds a case that this is a completely different thing. That we are no longer in a sword and sorcery heroic fantasy genre. The language of the place is different. The first film we mentioned that it has a very ugly kind of tone to it. Dar, R, Mayax,
Mhm,
like the Juns.
mhm.
Like everything is very hard on the tongue. Where in this one they have like some sort of everything sounds very fantasy. It's like they have like they mentioned some location. It's like, oh yes, the shores of Avarayon or something. Like they have one of those things where it sounds kind of elvish on the tongue. Even
Mhm.
the key of Magog, like these sorts of the world sounds different.
Yeah.
It sounds generic fantasy. It doesn't have that Bronze Age toughness to it.
Well,
The
also, you
way,
got a guy shooting green laser beams out of a stick that, like, what we were talking about quite a lot in that first Beastmaster review is these kinds of stories, these, like, more barbarian tinged, Conan-esque fantasy stories. Magic tends to be a a darker, less known thing that often takes time and commitment in order to invoke. Whereas this,
yeah,
it's just like, "Yeah!" Just on
yeah.
at will.
The Key of Magog and Arklon as a villain are from a different movie.
Oh, yeah,
They are from a
100%.
different franchise. It's
Mhm.
like The Witch as well is from a different franchise. Like all of the elements, Dar, right up until he steps through the portal. Because when he steps through the portal, his IQ drops about 40 points, and Mark Singer forgets how to act. Um, I don't know what happens. Dar is the same character, and arguably the landscape he inhabits is the same. But the world and the society and the culture and the rules that surround him, we have gone from a Howard esque heroic fantasy setting to just generic fantasy, to just a bog standard, whatever, point and shoot, magic is whatever we say it is type setting. I I wrote specifically in my notes during the escape sequence, this feels like we're about to cut to kids playing tabletop. Like it feels like a very slickly developed opening sequence that we're supposed to cut and it's a bunch of nerds sitting around a table like you but mom said you should let me play, get out of here Dewey, you're not allowed to play with us. And it's supposed to be like almost a cloak and dagger, like oh we have our world and their world and oh they're the game is invading our, like it's supposed to be kind of hokey. Like obviously Arklon is being written and played by a goofy teenager, and like
Yeah.
all these elements are dumb and stupid and they're making sex jokes and everything because they're a bunch of dumb teenagers playing a tabletop game. That's how it feels. This does not feel like a living breathing dangerous world. It feels like a generic D&D adventure run by a bunch of kids. And that's not what that first film is.
Yeah, actually, that would be probably an excellent way to make this kind of fish out of water story, is instead of having a portal, like, have it be Dar is a fictional character from a fictional land brought in from a book or something, through magical means or something. I actually would love that idea, where it would explain away a lot of the kiddie factor and a lot of the clunkiness. Um, actually, that would work really, really well because,
Yeah.
yeah, I could totally see the hard cut where he hits the guy with the broadside of the axe, or like he runs away when Arklon is helpless, and like cut to the kids at the table going like, he runs away. Like why would you run away?
Yeah. I want to kill Arklon. No, you have to leave. I want to kill Arklon. He's the final boss. You can't kill him right
Yeah.
now.
It's like we're 1 day into this campaign. Like you
Yeah.
can't kill him yet.
Yeah.
Do you want to play this game or what?
You rolled a nat 20 on animal handling. I let you maul his face. You gotta leave. I
Yeah.
don't care. I'm railroading you. You leave.
Don't make me collapse the cave on you because I
Yeah.
totally will, and then you'll wake up at the riverbed.
And again, rocks fall, everyone dies. It's
Yeah,
like there is a structure that
yeah.
could make this movie more fun and make it work that they just simply don't have.
No, there's no structure here.
Yeah.
By the way, the rocks rolling down the hill made me think of Takeshi's Castle. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Takeshi's Castle or Most Extreme Challenge, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Stateside. Yeah.
Yeah. It very much made me think of that. But so our villains, quote unquote, are allied here. The witch basically makes a proposition to Arklon saying, she has powers, you can use me, you can use them, and he takes some convincing. That's kind of their interplay till the end of time, is that she keeps offering herself to him and he's kind of interested, but not really. The
Which I like.
swamp. Yeah, and that was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But the swamp, Levi, this is a bizarre scene that speaking of, I think it was Jim Wynorski directed Return of the Swamp Thing. I think that was him.
Maybe.
Maybe? I
I'm
think
not sure.
so.
I know Wes
I mean,
Craven did the first.
yeah, that's for sure. I think he may have done the second one. Anyway, kind of reminded me of that. Also reminded me of the fact that Swamp Thing was on TV at a certain point in time. I think I watched an episode or two when I was a youngster. I certainly had a friend who had some of the action play sets and action figures. Dar goes to a swamp. There's something in the swamp that harms the guards that are after him. One of the guards knocks himself out because his horse gets spooked and he runs into a tree branch and he falls off the horse.
Yeah.
And then a swamp manster, or femanster, emerges from the bushes and from the water, and we have a brief fist fight with the swamp manster. News to me. Didn't know there were swamp monsters in this world, but Dar has to fucking fight it, and it has yellow cone vision.
I I wrote crew attacked by swamp thing with Willem Dafoe hypnovision
Yeah, sure, I'll go with that. Yeah,
because
it's remarkable.
there's a side shot. There's a painting. I want to say it's just called hypnotism of a man like holding someone by the neck, and light is coming from his eyes. And that image is recreated in Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse, where a
Oh,
naked Defoe is holding Robert Pattinson by the neck, and the light is extending from his eyes into him. It's a recreation of that painting, hypnotism. We
okay.
have like that exact shot with Swamp Thing holding one of the guards with the hypnotism coming from his eyes. Um,
And
it's a weird, like, again, it's these connections my brain make. But so yeah, there's a cone hypnovision, and much like the Bat People, um, this is like this is a lesser Bat People scene. Bat People scene, if Bat People scene is S tier for what the hell am I watching, but let's go for it. This is like D tier. Um, Dar puts up his hand, and the symbol of R is etched into it. The Swamp Thing sees it, and what is the Swamp Thing's reaction, Trevor? What happens? Tell us, tell
this,
us what happens.
I mean, this is kind of incredible, actually. This, like, talk about things you never ever would have seen coming.
No.
So to reiterate, at this point, I think Dar's deeds and powers have been dumped via exposition in dialogue at least once, and we did get it in the crawl. We're about to get it a third time from the swamp monster.
From the swamp monster.
Inexplicably, the swamp monster who has a personal, deep connection to this is kind of amazing, actually. So, yellow cone vision on Rue. The tiger looks up and is just like, nah. like he's not harmed. The tiger just is bathed in the yellow light and just goes, nah,
No.
I'm sorry, Dar, you're on your own. Like, I don't even know what that is. I don't want yellow piss vision on me. And it tries to do it on Dar, and Dar also doesn't really have a strong reaction to the yellow piss vision. He's like, maybe Mark Singer's just thinking, like, wow, that's probably going to be a really bad optical. You were correct, sir. Anyway, the swamp monster sees the mark of R on his hand and then begins to speak. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it tells him it's his aunt?
Yes.
Yes, it's his dad's sister. The swamp monster is his dad's sister and fucked around with magic, but fucked around so hard that it got turned into a goddamn swamp monster. And then it proceeds to tell him what he has done with his life up until now,
and it
what he
just
can do.
So happens to run into him in this swamp at this moment.
At this moment. And yeah, he proceeds to tell Dar his own origin.
Yes.
We already know this, by the way, but it tells him the events of the first film. It's like, oh, you were about to be born, and then the witches of Mayax like transferred you into the belly of an oxen, and then they cut you from the oxen, and then an old man killed the witch and then raised you. And Dar's like, I know.
I was there.
I was there. That's quite lovely, swamp monster. Anti swamp monster. I know.
They cut you from the belly of the oxen on the planet Zeist.
Yes, very much so. Michael Ironside was there.
Speaking of people that would have been a better Arklon.
Oh God, he would have been awesome. Just his voice alone would have made it something. But General, is it Katana?
Katana, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so the swamp auntie tells Dar that he has an evil older brother. Not just an older brother, but an evil older brother. No gray in there whatsoever. Just he's bad. And he has to kill him by the autumn equinox, or else all life will cease to exist. Destroy him, and peace and justice shall prevail. And then in a very Yoda-esque move, Swamp Auntie stands up and is like, "Yo, one of those guards nicked me in the gut here. I'm gonna die, but I don't want you to see me die. I gotta die in private, so I'm gonna fuck off to the woods. Get out of here, Dar. I'm gonna die. Trust me. I gotta die in these bushes. But you go to quote unquote the Western region to find your evil brother and kill him before the autumn equinox to prevent all life from ceasing to exist by the movie."
So presumably, if Dar would not have wandered into this swamp and just not been aware of this quest line, and he took a little too long to kill Arklon, it would just
the
world's just gone.
Yep.
Oops.
And the swamp monster's just like knows this and just keeps it to themselves. That's very selfish of you, swamp monster.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of a way to make this work, but I can't.
Can't.
It's like the only thing that I could possibly think of is if the swamp monster sought them out, or if it was like it's revealed that underneath one of the strongholds is an underground swamp and it's been captured and it's sitting there and it's just like listen, I've been trying to tell somebody and I've been trying to tell you, but Arklon has had me down here. Like maybe
I think what you would do is if you insist on having anti-swamp monster, if it needs to be that, if it still has to be that, have this play out a couple of scenes later and have it trailing him. Like, show it in such a way where it's like it's lingering in the background, or it like pops up like just its eyeballs like in a body of water, and it's like
Yeah.
observing him. And we the viewer are like, "Oh, that thing got no it has bad intentions for Dar," and like his animal friends don't even know it's there. It's gonna jump him at some point. And then instead of jumping him, it saves him, and then they talk.
Yeah.
It's like, "I've been trying to tell you for a long time, but you keep getting into all these fucking fights with Arklon and his goons, and I can't find an opening."
I've been trying to reach you about your Eagles extended warranty.
Yeah, so this is kind of amazing, actually. Like I said, that swamp scene is special in terms of just how busted it is, and just how much crucial information gets dumped from the most unlikely of sources.
I want, and this is again, it feels like a teenager's tabletop game. It,
Cut to
yeah,
the kids being like, "The swamp monster told me all that?"
yeah.
How this a like Wayne's World, like, that was a very well-informed security guard.
Very well-informed swamp monster.
Exactly.
Oh
Jesus.
my goodness! If Chris Farley,
Gossip among these
Chris
swamp
Farley was
people.
that swamp monster.
Why don't you just shut your big yapper?
So your brother's right over here
Chris Farley is the swamp monster.
in the Western Territories. Yeah, it's so. Dar goes out. Dar ventures forth to find his brother, who has to be destroyed before the autumn equinox. By the way, this never comes into play. The autumn
No,
equinox never comes into play. There's never like a race against time for the autumn equinox. This is a completely superfluous detail. None of this needs to happen. Dar was already going after guys. Spoiler alert. Dar's evil brother is Arklon. I'm not sure if you saw this coming or not. So he's already going after Arklon. That's already the quest line. So this is just meaningless.
also, he doesn't take it to heart.
No.
Like, if all life hinges on the existence of this evil brother of yours, stab him. Like, just, "I'm sorry, brother." But no,
Yeah.
they have to fucking slap fight a whole bunch before that.
It's ridiculous. Um so Ursa brings Arklon to the city on the edge of forever. Um to this arch in the middle of the desert that looks like the Star Trek episode. Um, and it is, in fact, a portal. A
Hmm.
portal of time, perhaps? No, it is not a portal of time. There is no portal of time in this movie. It is revealed that through this portal is a dimensional gate to LA. So, Dar's world is not in the past, it is a different dimension. Again, tabletop, it's like Planescape. There's a different dimension. So the title of the film, Through the Portal of Time, is a total misnomer.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, this happens sometimes. Maybe the title tested better or something, time rather than through the dimensional portal or something. Maybe they just felt it would be more marketable or something. Like, famously, Wheels on Meals, the Jackie Chan movie, uh, is called that because there was a superstition at the time that every movie that began with the letter M that came out, in recent years from that studio bombed. So they're like, let's flip the words so that the W comes first. And then, of
It
course, there's
gets
the George Lucas Return Revenge. It's like, "Ah, no, the printing of the posters will cost more money. Like, let's go with Return of the Jedi."
yeah. It's yeah, it's just very
It's pretty
it's
bad when it's
really
explicit in the
bad.
dialogue, when they very, very explicitly say it's a portal to a different parallel dimension. No
Well,
mention
because
of time whatsoever.
yeah, it's sort of like if Attack of the Clones, it was very specifically said that the clone army is robots. Like, there's no clones in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, so we still have the army. We still have the Republic has an army. It's still established and it was still done in secret. The whole plot's the same. The plot is the same, but there's no clones in this movie.
Yeah,
No clones.
you are gonna have time travel in your time travel movie.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. It's
Nope.
so,
Nope, we're not.
yeah, no. So our clone is led to the portal and they see the modern skyscrapers of Los Angeles. And this is at the 30-minute mark, we get our MacGuffin. At the
Yes.
30-minute mark, we get the portal. Um, it takes another 25 minutes after we first get the portal for the plot to engage and for them to step through the portal. The movie is halfway over by the time that the plot actually engages. Um, they're standing before it, and I can't even remember what he says this into reply. It's like she's saying some oh yeah. So the witch is talking about the idea of atomic weapons, talking about the idea of mutually assured destruction, a climate of terror.
She calls it the balance of terror, I think is the
Balance
phrase.
of terror, excuse
Yeah.
me. The idea is that it's like the weapons are so powerful that nobody dares do anything because we all die.
Yeah.
To which Arkline says the line, "What a brilliantly barbaric concept!" Oh,
Wow, that was a stunning recreation of that amazing dialogue.
you're like,
Wings, are you okay? Are you choking?
it's it's so strange. It's like he was scatting, but there was no actual sound to it.
Bee-bop-bop-ba-da-bop.
It it's what it struck me so much. I'm like, what is this choice? What is this choice, Wings, buddy?
It's just trying shit, I guess. I, just to toss it out there, I'm curious. Like I was a child in 1991. I detected some like political jabs in the script.
Yes.
I want to say that perhaps balance of terror was like a buzzword that was floating around in recent years or something. But more important, we get an actual read my lips spoken in this scene, as well as an allusion to releasing of I think it was mental patients or something during
Yeah.
the scene when the cops get flung through the portal. And then there's a snippy thing on the news about Reagan should be able to put on his clothes again, alluding to his dementia or whatever.
Yeah. Um, it seems that in general in 1991, now that we are removed from the Reagan administration, people are not people it seems that there is a bit of a growing cynicism
Mhm.
towards the Cold War politics of the 80s now that the wall is down. Now
Yeah.
that the Berlin Wall has fallen and we are no longer at war with the Russians, it seems that the tone of the movie is very critical of LA and consumerism and the bombs and the way we interact with people and government officials and the police and everybody. It seems very much like if they are a governing body and a part of what was kind of lionized in the 1980s, then this movie doesn't like it. It's like RoboCop at the time when it was made was kind of subversive
Oh yeah.
for being a very like tongue-in-cheek kind of poking fun at how consumeristic and how militaristic the 1980s was. Where this movie is now removed from that and seems to be looking back and saying, that wasn't it, and it still isn't it, and we're just not a fan.
Problem is it's packaged in with Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time, and
Yeah.
none of this is particularly clever. I just brought it
No.
up because it stood out where it's like that was a curious remark. That's not something
Yeah.
you would find in just anything. Like that's not a something you would just include meaninglessly. Like it would have there's a reason it's there, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of focus on it, but it is just kind of there.
Yeah. It's
Um,
only a handful of instances. I think I
yeah.
may have mentioned all of them, but it's just like every once in a while you just cock your head and you're like, huh, that seems timely and topical. Like
Yeah.
we're very far removed from 1991, but when I hear "read my lips," that's a George Bushism. Like
Mhm.
that one jumps out.
Goodness gracious, we are at over the 2-hour mark, and we aren't even past the first 30 minutes of this movie.
Okay,
Um,
we can step on the gas. This
yeah,
is kind of ridiculous.
holy. I was like, man, we should be able to blow through this. I guess not. Um,
Apparently not.
apparently not. We have a lot to say about Beastmaster 2. But we have the portal. Arklon knows where, like, what the deal is, and he knows about the is it neutron detonator something.
Correct. Yeah.
So the neutron detonator, he knows about it, he knows it exists, and he's just like, yeah, I don't need the witch anymore. And and she's like, you can take me however you want. And he has actually a pretty funny moment where he like really lays it on thick, where he's like, you're saying that you would take a poor scarred man like me, where I would accept your loving, warm, beautiful embrace. And he does this, like, it's probably a good 30 seconds that he just piles it on, and then he's like, yeah, burner. And it's like
It's
it's funny.
yeah,
I
it's a solid comedic beat.
Yeah, and then he like tries to deliver actual theatrical dialogue that's supposed to be taken seriously, and it's terrible. Um, it it's like for everything the movie gets right, it then manages to backpedal and make me hate it again. Um, so we then cut from this scene as he's just like, yes, and I'll get this detonator. We hard cut to I wrote, and the movie jumps the shark. Um, we cut to what's her bucket from Sliders. Um,
Carrie Were
yeah, Carrie were
that gal from Anaconda,
Jackie.
baby bird,
Jackie as
Jackie.
her character name is. It is funny. Noah Antweiler drew this connection where he's just like, how does this girl just end up with dimensional travel on her? Like, it's like it's not a whole lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
she was on Sliders for a few years
yeah,
there.
much like Mark Singer and Bats, it's like,
Yeah, man
um,
bat people. I mean, the bat people gave him the nod, so it's
yeah,
like,
Basil
he
the
could put
Bat
that on
Lord.
his yeah, he can put that on his fucking resume. Just
Yeah,
like, "I hung out with Basil, like, Batlord or whatever."
yeah, Basil the Bat Lord, and received the nod from the Bat people.
Yeah, I'm good
Um,
with the bats.
he's good with them. Um, so I wrote specifically, teen girl nearly destroys several city blocks for kicks. Um, she is driving a cherry red Porsche 911, and she is rolling through the streets of LA, um, speeding for no reason, no zero reason.
I
She
think
is
it's
just
supposed to be funny.
she's just hot rodding around, and she's has two police cruisers in hot pursuit, and nearly gets a bunch of people killed, and
Yeah,
almost derails like several semi trucks. Like, one is like a gas truck, and it's like, people could have died, lady. Jackie, what are you doing? You could have killed all of these people. And she's
yeah.
like,
She has a line, she says, "Woo, I am so cool." You better believe that had an "ugh" next to it in my notes.
Um, I think Jackie may be responsible for a vast majority of the shut ups in my notes.
Her dialogue is just strange because so many of the people she talks to in this are essentially non-reactive. Like,
Yeah,
she just has all these, like, contemporary, vapid, like, valley girl, teenage girl kinda shit, like, um, and nobody like, everybody no sells it. Like, they do nothing with it. They don't
yeah.
there's no interplay. Dar just kinda goes, "Okay." Like, he just kinda smiles and just carries on.
I, I was going to say this movie feels like dialogue that everyone just sandbags.
Yes.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody reacts to anything anybody else is saying.
Yeah, there's no yes and to it. It's just kind of like you said your line, it's like, um, I don't have a line that follows that in the script, so I'm not gonna try.
Conversations don't exist in this film. It's just
Not
people
really.
making statements.
Yeah, mouth
It,
noises.
yeah. So she's yakking on the phone with her senator father, whom I don't think we meet. Um,
No,
he's not in the movie. She could
no.
just be anyone, but they needed her to be rich and to have a Porsche 911.
Yeah.
So she's a senator's daughter, and she is a party girl and is with a different guy every week and is an irresponsible, like mouthy jackass of a woman. And you're like, okay, so this is sort of what we were talking about earlier, where the responsibility and the sort of like noble nature of Dar should rub off on this character, and maybe some of her like kind of antics, some of her energy, maybe even like Dar plays dirty once, and it's kind of unexpected, where it's like, he's in a fight with Arklon, and he's like, "You never would have done that before," and he's just like, "I've been learning a few things around here." Like he does, like they kind of rub off on each other. So that doesn't happen except for Dar learns the word asshole. That's it. Jackie is static and remains as insufferable as the moment she is introduced. Um, so she is driving and is cornered by the police and should be rightfully arrested. She drives smack dab into a brick wall in an alley. Had the portal not been through this mysterious brick wall in the alley, she would have died,
Mhm.
followed quickly by those two police officers who would have run directly into the back of her. But thank goodness there is a portal of dimension through the brick wall. The Porsche flies through, and then the two cop cars fly through, and Arklon and the witch and his soldiers are like, "Well, kill him."
This is actually kind of silly line from Robert Zadar here, where the police say, like, what do they say to him? They say, "You have the right to remain silent." So the cops start to read Miranda, and Robert Zadar says, "You shall remain silent." And they start shooting crossbow bolts at him. It's stupid, but it's like, whatever. It's a back and forth. Darth Vader's name, by the way, gets dropped during this exchange.
Yes. I also wrote worst archer ever. Um, I'm not sure what it is with archers in this franchise that can't hit anything. They're like 6 feet away from these two police officers, and a team of like eight of them cannot hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just as bad as them crossing the river in the first Beastmaster film.
Like you could practically reach out and touch them.
Yeah,
And
maybe you could just take 2 paces and stab him or something. Just like with the
terrible.
arrow.
Yeah, it's so the two cops have like honestly kind of fun pithy dialogue, like who are these mental patients, like where the hell are we, what is going on. um they manage to narrowly escape and they jump back through the wall. The two police cruisers, one of them explodes.
Yeah.
um and Jackie escapes in her Porsche, out onto the horizon, which Trevor, I'm not sure how experienced you are driving sports cars. Um, Sports cars are not meant to drive on that kind of terrain.
No, I
They don't
wouldn't
do that
imagine.
well. So she drives until she is out of gas, and then she says more stupid things. Um,
That could be every beat in the entire film.
yeah, something happens. Jackie says something stupid. Next scene.
That could be the whole podcast.
So Trevor, tell me about journey. Jackie's journey into the desert, into the Western territories.
So yeah, the Western region doesn't even have a fucking name. It's just over there. They didn't bother.
Yeah, it's like Canada. They're just like, and these territories,
Yeah,
whatever.
up there. Something. We mentioned this during like the opening scene. This movie. There's some aspects of this that are actually shot quite well. Um, when she's driving at night and runs out of gas, that shot's nice. Like the empty desert and the color tone of it, everything actually looks pretty snazzy.
Oh yeah.
Um, she ditches her car and wanders off, and then we do like a fade to black of her just like wandering, calling out for help or just like for people, civilization. And then we fade up and she just slept out in the desert, like in her LA clothing or attire. It's like, wow, you didn't freeze or have any problems. We just faded to black on that, and she just slept in the desert. Uh, she wakes up to Rue licking her hand. Um, and then she's of course spooked because there's a fucking tiger there. And Dar just kind of doesn't have like a hero's entrance. He just like pops up behind her and he's like, "Yo, that's my tiger friend."
So specifically, as she is like not quite awake yet, she's like pillow talking. She's like, Jared, no, I'm
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah.
Oh, that's gross. It's like, are you used to men just licking
Licking
your
your hand.
hands?
That's a new one.
Lady, I mean, I've been like I've been to some crazy parties, but I mean,
Hand licking. That's what the
yeah,
kids were all in 1991. The kids were all
19
about hand licking.
1991 in Los Angeles, it was all about licking hands. It was it, it was a lockdown COVID worst nightmare.
So I just we do need to step on the gas because this movie doesn't
Yeah,
deserve 5 hours of our respect. But
no, it doesn't.
I would just like to point out one thing is there's a lot of extraneous details in this.
Yeah,
In spite of its stupidity, in spite of its aimlessness and lack of cohesion from moment to moment, there's a lot of details that seem like they had intention for that moment, and then nobody bothered to pick it up later. And what
yeah.
I'm alluding to here is
The Lost Mountains.
Jackie has a wedding dress. She has a dress. She's going to her sister's wedding when she's introduced to us. And it's in 20 minutes, which if this was a time travel movie, you could have had that be the end of her story. Is that she learns a thing or two, goes back through the portal of time and gets to go to her sister's wedding, maybe reconciles with her sister that she's estranged from or something, because she's clearly a shitheel. um, but that is never mentioned again. And then also Dar talks to her about her family, and she says, "Yeah, my mom died. It's kind of sad." And he's like, "Well, that sucks for you. Moving on." It's like, why is this important? Like, why do we need to have dialogue and time dedicated to this mention of this person having a dead parent and an
Statement.
empty
Other
father?
statement. End scene.
It's bizarre, where it's like it reeks of we had part of a script,
Yeah.
but we probably threw it. It got lost in transit. Like it got bad. It was badly burned. You see.
Yeah. The script is perfectly healthy, but it's losing the will to live. It's
You see, it just doesn't want to exist and it keeps eroding.
Yeah, well, and there's other details, like, they bring up, what I thought you were going to bring up is, like, there's, like, the lost hounds of the deserts that
Yeah.
eat souls,
Yeah.
and it's dropped in a line that would have been useful to explain the Bat People in the first
Yes.
film. Like, essentially, they do I reviewed that first episode again, and your incredulous no at me asking if the Bat People have a name may be my favorite thing in that episode. Is how baffled and incredulous you are.
No.
But so this is what was needed for the Bat People is
Yeah.
like this brief line. They play into no part of the film. They do nothing. They're just there in silhouette for a scene, and then they leave, and they're never brought up again.
Yeah. They put a couple of greyhounds in prosthetic makeup or whatever. They're in 2 shots. Dar tells us what they are, says he has to stand guard, has 0 interaction with them, moving on.
Yeah, they will come out no more, and they leave. um, eh, so finally, at like the 55-minute mark, Arklon steps through the portal along with the witch. In hot pursuit, Dar and Jackie come up behind him. Jackie says things that are stupid. Um,
When in doubt.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Just from my notes, Kodo and Podo Jr. question mark. Like Dar reintroduces all the animals, and they are also Podo and Kodo.
Yeah.
Mark Singer has like yet another Highlander connection. He has like a Raiden laugh where he's developed this thing for his character where he goes like kind of under his breath. He has the Lambert like
Yeah.
um
By the way, he
yeah,
tells her that the ferrets love her. They love
yeah,
you
it's weird.
too. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like she says things about the Twilight Zone and Leatherface and oh, I know all sorts of information. I watch Jeopardy every night.
What's particularly frustrating about her is that we never they initially they play it off as she is disbelieving that she's in a different place. And so all of
Yeah.
her dialogue is like hand waving everything away as like, oh, you must just be some like traveling circus guy or something, and you're an animal wrangler. So
Yeah.
she never has that like moment where like, oh, like she never actually acknowledges things. It just kind of like happens off screen or something.
Yeah, there's never really a moment where somebody sticks a sword in her face and she realizes that she is actually in danger.
Yeah, that's what you would need to do. Is like have like reality literally like slap her in the face. We're like, oh, like this Arklon guy is dangerous and is from a different world.
And he is going to kill me.
Yeah,
Um like and that's sort of the problem. That's a problem with tone. Again, Zod is in this big V-neck black jumpsuit and it looks kind of silly. He will kill you.
well,
He's going to kill you.
yeah.
And
The way he
like
carries himself, Terrence Stamp is he has
oh
an
my
intensity about him where he's looking through you like a predator,
I
like a jungle cat or something.
it was crazy, man. When I heard the news that he died, like it kind of hit me in a way that like a celebrity death hasn't in quite some time where I'm
Hmm.
like it feels like something left. Like
Mm.
truly where I'm like cuz that man's presence on screen was just unlike anything else. Um but yeah, that movie is missing that gravitas. It's missing threat. It's
Yeah.
missing danger. Um, and it just never quite comes through. So what ends up happening is Jackie, Dar, Arklon, and the witch whose name I cannot remember. Um,
Lorana, but I
Lorana.
in my notes I just wrote witch or Sarah
Yeah,
Douglas.
exactly. So they all go through the portal. Then Dar. gets separated from Jackie and Arklon and Ursa. I'm just gonna call her Ursa.
I mean, that works just as well.
Yeah, get he's like, "You're going to show me where the neutron detonator is." Because she knows, I guess. Her
This
dad's a
this is
senator.
where the internal logic of the thing just ceases to exist. Is so we have that factor, and then we have Arklon blowing a gas main to create a
Yeah,
fire barrier between him and Dar. It's like, so you know how gas mains work. Okay.
yeah,
You knew that
um,
that metal pipe there housed explosives or flammable gases.
yeah. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if Dar had like a throwable weapon to throw through the jet of
Yeah.
fire to hit them? Wouldn't it be nice if he had a throwable weapon?
I mean, if you wanna do callbacks to the first movie, just have him do the Indiana Jones thing, Temple of Doom, where he reaches for his gun. He's like, "Shouldn't have given that to my half brother."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, it's like,
Cut to
so
his half brother sitting on the throne, and the thing's like collecting dust. It's like
yeah, exactly. That'd actually be a fun comedic beat where it's like it's just mounted on the wall,
Yeah.
like next to a bottle of whiskey.
Exactly. It turns out
Uh,
to just be a complete pile, like, just a failure.
but yeah, so they leave. Dar is then cornered by the police. Rue is shot with a dart and effectively leaves the movie. And is taken to the Adventureland Zoo.
Yes.
Um, Adventureland is foreshadowed because it's
Mhm.
on the wall. It's on the
It
brick
is.
wall. There's like an old mural that's been kind of scratched out for Adventureland. So he's then taken to the zoo. Dar is tased and goes down like a ton of bricks and is arrested. Um, which listen, man, tasers are tasers are tasers. I've seen guys built like Dar that have shrugged that stuff off, and it would have been way cooler if he had. But the problem is that this movie is a comedy with no sense of danger. So there's no because they're heroes in their world, but hilarious in ours. So any sort of it's at this point where Mark Singer, where Dar in his world is well built and cool and he takes himself seriously. And when he's talking, he's just like, the animals are my friends. This is Poto and Kodo and Hru. It's like when he's talking about it, you believe him.
Mhm.
And you're like, okay, Mark Singer's still bringing his A game. As soon as he steps through that portal, his IQ drops by 40 points, and Mark Singer forgets how to act, and Dar becomes like a non entity in his own film. And I don't know how it happened. And the only thing I can say is they're a hero in their world, but they're hilarious in ours. So every attempt is made to undermine and make these mystical fantasy characters look stupid. Every move is made towards that. So Dar gets tased and goes down. Uh, what is Arklon, Ursa, and Jackie doing in the meantime?
So, by the way, everything that you said about the intentions of the portrayal of our fantasy realm characters in our world, I would add the word incompetently into it because they are striving for funny. Funny is actually very difficult. Funny is very hard to pull off,
Fish out of
especially in
water.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we don't have here is actual laughs. What we have are things that on paper it's like, oh, it'll take care of itself. Like just the notion of a guy in a loincloth walking around LA, the audience will get it. That like that they're relying on people filling in gaps here. Where what's actually happening is not clever nor funny. Because really, like if you let Mark Singer do some of that acting shit, what you would do is have him break off from the Jackie character and have misunderstandings. That's where humor often comes from in fish out of water stories, is have Dar not understand the customs of LA and have him wandering the streets and doing the whole like, I don't know where I am. There's a lot of lights here. Electricity is kind of a novel concept to me. Things like that. And like it brings to mind like Beverly Hills Cop or Crocodile Dundee, where Axel Foley does things a little differently. Paul Hogan's Crocodile Dundee does things a little differently. And it lends itself to comedy. We don't have that for Dar because, like you said, it's kind of amazing how much of a literal passenger he is for most of this narrative. He doesn't do shit. Like he is just he is just along for the ride, has no agency in the story whatsoever. It's baffling actually, but you set me up for it. You got to get yourself some fresh threads, is what Jackie tells Arklon.
They're digging your royal attire, sire.
Ugh, 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 ugh. So much ugh. Levi, no! I can't do this alone.
I
Speaking of Beverly Hills Cop, Bronson Pinchot isn't here to help us out with some actual clever, fun improv.
no.
No. Malky, where are you? We need you, Malky. Yeah, we go on a Beverly Hills Cop esque shopping journey. And we are stuck in this store for so many minutes. And stuck is the word because the movie can't figure its fucking way out. And Wings Hauser is just doing stuff. I don't think this is where I think my note was. I don't know if there's a script at this point. Because this just goes on and on and on. At one point, Arklon gets convinced to try on some clothes, tells Jackie to stay put, leaves her, goes into the dressing room, looks at himself. I don't know entirely what emotion he's trying to convey here. He's just looking at himself in the mirror and conveying something. I have no idea what it's supposed to mean, but she's left unattended and she just leaves. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, like, bad guys need goons. I'm sorry, but just like
Yes.
having your lead villain just traipse around alone it's a bad look for a guy who orders people around and thinks of himself as like ruler of the land. It's like, who are you commanding? You're alone.
Just send Robert Sadar with him.
Yeah,
Send Robert Sadar.
even
Have an
better,
enforcer.
even better. Recruit some LA street toughs
Oh,
with
that'd
like
be fun.
gold from your pocket. Be like,
That
yo, you want to earn a buck?
yeah,
Fight
that'd be
that
cool.
fucker over there. Like,
Yeah, exactly. He sees a couple of guys with, like, mohawks and everything, and he's just like,
Juns.
yeah, he needs guns.
Yeah,
Well,
he's like, I
because
recognize these people. These
well,
are my
because
people.
yeah, it's like, Jackie straight up says, it's like, "You're not like the leather motorcycle gang people." Like, she's making a Mad Max reference,
Yeah,
essentially. Wouldn't that be a fun connection? It's just like, "Oh,
a
I
motorcycle
know
gang.
who you
Yeah,
are."
yeah,
Where it's like he holds up gold chains for all of them, and they're like, "Oh, we'll do whatever the hell you want."
yeah. Go fight Dar, and we'll have an action beat.
No, we're not allowed an action beat in this film, Trevor. I
No,
I
the middle is for shopping,
no,
Trevor.
no, Trevor. The middle of our Beastmaster 2 film is so Wings Hauser can act opposite a hate crime. It's
Jesus Christ.
it's the clerk,
The clerk.
the clerk at this clothing store uh, is
I don't entirely know what this is.
the most flamboyantly, stereotypically, offensively gay Frenchman I have ever seen on film. Like, it feels like a hate crime. It's like a minstrel show equivalent of homosexuality.
Yeah.
It made me like just it. I wrote in my notes that Wings and Jackie compete for worst thing on screen. One note later is gay Frenchman climbs ranks for worst, and it's like it's we are trapped
We're
with
trapped.
we are trapped with a crime against France and the homosexual community of Los Angeles. And Wings Hauser trying his damnedest to squeeze any kind of comedy out of this scene where there is none. Jackie escapes after 5, 6, 10, 15 years of torturous
Like the Groundhog Day scene.
horror of torturous horror in this clothing store. His anger, Arklon destroys the place with the Key of Magog, which displays another power that it hasn't done yet and will never do again.
Yeah, it blows wind. We get some softcore nudity, like some ladies in their underwears are in the
Yeah.
changing rooms. Jim Wynorski probably penned that part of the script. This whole scene feels like it's going for Michael Ironside in Highlander 2, the 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 required driving sequence in any Highlander movie where the villain goes nuts and uses his immortality or to kill some innocent bystanders and stuff. But it's just him trashing a clothing store, throwing a tantrum like a child.
Nobody dies.
Nobody's dies, nobody gets hurt, and we have one of the cringiest lines from Wings Hauser here, where he's stomping over the destruction of the room, and he says, "He who defies Arklon shall be destroyed by Arklon." And my notes read here, and you'll appreciate this because we already talked about it earlier, Levi. Very Serpentor esque.
Yes.
This I command. It's like you didn't give a command, Serpentor, but okay. You just like
Yeah.
to say that at the end of sentences.
Sure. Yeah. It's the Mandalorian. I have spoken.
Have you now?
Yeah. So that scene stops mercifully.
It
Um,
stops. It doesn't end. It just it doesn't transition in anything. It just stops.
so many of these scenes just stop.
The cops, Levi, were the cops given a script?
No.
Because we see them at the clothing store immediately after. So Jackie goes home, but the cops
Yeah.
they show up like following almost every scene to just like do cleanup or something. And there's the big
Yeah.
cop and the little cop with the bow
Yeah.
tie. And
Is
this
Big
is
Cop
where I
just really tall and Little Cop, or is Little Cop really short?
it's probably a bit of both. I think little cop is very short though. Like
Yeah.
he looks it, but there I think this scene with them literally ends with the big cop throwing his hands up and saying, "Well, I'm out of here." He ran out of gas, ran out of pages, ran out of time. Just, well, I'm out of here. And then the little guy's just left standing in the frame holding the bag.
I Little Cop's professional cop attire is a black dress suit coat, a red bow tie, and a white shirt. It looks like he's been called away from serving at a party
Yeah.
in every scene. Like this
Yeah,
is his professional attire.
yeah, it looks like he got called away to go check out Axis Chemicals or something.
Yeah, yeah. Get me Sergeant
Thank
Eckhart.
God.
So Jack Palance as Arklon.
Oh, you Hawk the Slayer, bring that kind of performance? Shit. You'd have a fucking movie. And he's got a weird mask in that too.
Dude, like, give me the 10 heaping pounds of ham of Jack Palance in this
Fuck
role.
yes.
We're sold.
Oh yeah. Different movie, better movie.
We even
Uh,
have the Scarred Brother connection. It's Hawk the
yeah.
Slayer.
You're onto something. But so the cops
The cops.
have just been square peg round holed into this movie now.
Yeah.
So they try to interrogate Dar, and I'm getting like Christopher Lee vibes from Mark Singer, and what I'm what I'm alluding to here is I seem to remember reading a story that during the making of all the Hammer Dracula movies, there was a certain phase of those movies wherein Christopher Lee read some of the scripts and said, "I'm not going to read the
Yeah.
script. I refuse to speak this dialogue on film. It cannot happen."
I'm not saying I am the apocalypse in this film. I do not want to make Dracula has risen from the grave, and I am doing so only because the head of Hammer begged me to do it and said everyone's jobs were on the line.
So this Dracula film takes place in 1974. Yes. I suck the blood of hippies. Yes. I will not
That's
do this film, but I
it,
will.
it's so funny because Peter Cushing was
Mhm.
such a wonderful actor and was like, he made notes and he made adjustments and he gave his all to every role, no matter how stupid it was. Um, and there was a guy who did a comparison between sort of the two of their styles, and they were such wonderful friends. And he's like, Cushing has all of these like notes in his script. He's constantly writing things down. He's writing down details. Then we see Lee's script for Dracula AD 1972, and it's just no. It's written next to lines. No, no, no.
Yeah, so Levi set me up beautifully just then. The story goes at a certain point in his tenure at Hammer, Christopher Lee just refused to speak on film. He wouldn't do it for at least one of those movies. And getting kind of that vibe from Mark Singer because there's a lot of awkward silences with Dar in this movie where it just seems like if there was dialogue for him, he probably just didn't want to do it or something. So this interrogation, Dar speaks our language. We've seen him talk to Jackie.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, English is the same over in his realm, but um, this this scene is madness because we have Big Cop trying to interrogate Dar, and then we have these frequent cutaways to Little Cop talking on the phone about some shit. I have no idea because we're not given any context, but we're cutting back and forth. And then Big Cop shows Dar a photo of Arklon, and
A
Dar springs
sketch of Arklon.
a sketch of
Yeah.
Arklon. And he pops up out of his seat and he says, "Ah, it's Arklon. I got to go fuck him up." And I look, actually, fun line. Big Cop is just kind of like confused. He's like baffled, and you just hear kind of low on the audio track. That's right. That's one bad dude. That's actually kind of a fun line. Um, but yeah, so this scene is Dar's being interrogated, is shown a picture, a sketch of Arklon, flips out, breaks a window, jumps out another window, and escapes. And then Big Cop walks up to Little Cop, who's been on the phone the whole time, blames him for it. And then Jackie is just happens by in a vehicle.
Yeah.
And Dar gets into the vehicle and she picks him up. Our heroes are reunited through happenstance.
And so begins the longest 15 to 20 to 30 minutes of your life.
The driving montage. Is this a scene? I don't know if it is.
No, it's just
Nothing interesting happens.
Jackie describes the car in broken up statements for the next 15 minutes.
The the two things that happen here of any sort of noteworthy is Dar learns the phrase asshole,
Yes.
and we have the movie stroking itself a little bit by putting Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time on the marquee of a theater that they drive by.
And Dar points at it and says, "What?"
Yeah.
And tries to get Jackie's attention, but Jackie doesn't see.
Yeah.
Which brings to mind another movie that I thought of while I was watching this that I'm like, this is how you skirt this line and you do it well.
Mm.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
This is a movie. What are you doing? You're making all these pop culture references. Like that kid comes this close to being insufferable, but never quite crosses the line
Yeah.
because he is surrounded by Charles Dance acting his face off, Arnold Schwarzenegger acting his face off, and like some genuinely funny gags. this is what happens when you have a crew and a cast that is not carrying this movie with these types of people and this type of character.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a waste of time and effort. It's very unfortunate because like you can see the silhouette of what this scene was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just nobody had any creative solutions for how to actually make it have any substance or meaning to it. So
Yep.
it just comes across as just wasted reels of film. Right? It contributes nothing to the experience.
Yeah. It's it is depressing to think that this was shot on 35 millimeter
Oh.
and how much money it cost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other element of this is that, like, when 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 everything comes together, it actually looks like a decent production. It actually has production values, it looks pretty snazzy. This had
Mhm.
this had actual money behind this. This wasn't like a Death Stalker movie or something where it's like, we need to rely on 30% stock footage because we have no money, and we are shooting with costumes and sets from other Roger Corman movies. This
Yeah.
is an actual legitimate, like, multi-million dollar production as far as I know. And it's in service to so little. But uh another coincidence, this is where just coincidences and just things just start happening. Like, again, I think the comparison to the end of Brazil is very apt because in the midst of driving, the camera lingers on like a strip club or something or a bar,
Yeah.
and Arklon emerges from it,
Yeah.
and he has a guy in a military dress uniform or some
Yeah.
sort.
He walks out with a lieutenant colonel and
Yeah,
they're both plastered.
yeah,
Um we were never introduced to this character.
no,
We don't know how these two met, but somehow Arklon has determined that this man is important.
yes,
They get plastered at a strip club, and they walk outside, and he evil Vulcan mind melds with him and empties his mind of secrets. Um, Takes all of his memories so he can then steal his uniform and sneak on base to the to steal the neutron detonator.
sorry to
Um,
jump in, but a
yeah,
way that you could
please.
actually make this kind of funny is have an action beat or something. Have Arklon suffer some sort of defeat, a minor defeat, and he escapes though, like with his tail between his legs,
Mhm.
and he's a little despondent. He's like, "Fuck! Like everything's falling apart. I can't find this neutron detonator thing. I have no fucking clue where I am." And he sees like drunk people or something, and he wanders into a bar. And he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get shit faced. It's what we do in my world. And then he happens to belly up to the bar next to the lieutenant
That would
colonel.
actually be really funny.
And then he's like, yes, I got this thing going on, this neutron detonator. What's it? I got it. Like, he's drunk and he's just like spilling his guts to Arklon. Arklon's like, you don't say.
Yeah, he
Like,
turns.
really now? Tell me
Oh,
more.
really?
Yeah. He just happens to wander into the right room at the right time.
Yeah, and it's like there's well, and here's the other thing. This is actually a moment where I'm like, if Wings Hauser was just in it a little more tuned in,
Mm.
or maybe if the score or something was a little tuned in, the moment of him gripping the guy's face and saying, "All of your thoughts, your mind is mine," like that has the ability to be intimidating.
Yeah.
It has the ability to kind of reclaim a bit of like, oh, this guy is dangerous. The problem is that he's such a buffoon and the filmmaking does not support it. It's like the movie has so many opportunities in front of it with the script it has to just make slight tweaks to make this a better film and they don't. Um but yeah, so he steals all of his identifications, his papers, and everything, um, and they make their way toward the base.
Yeah. Would have been nice to introduce that power of his a little earlier.
Yes.
Set it up a little bit.
Yeah, it would have been nice. And I'm trying to remember. Did we cut?
We go home and
Did we
we
cut?
meet Mr. Ages, Levi. We meet Mr. Ages. We mentioned Don Bluth last
Ah,
episode.
yes, yes, yes.
Uh, the voice of Mr. Ages from The Secret of Nim. I recognized it instantly. I confirmed it. I was like, "Yep, that was him."
Hmm.
It's Wendell something or other. But Jackie has a butler.
Yeah.
Dad is nowhere to be seen. Mom's dead. We learned that here. But she has a butler. He's pissy because he looks at Dar and he does the most unorthodox thing. Most unorthodox.
he
Uh, yeah,
he says to her, "Not another surfer."
yeah. You could have had more fun with that. You could have expanded on that or something, but nothing is clever here. Like Levi said, it really is just like people tossing out lines, and nobody is generous or thoughtful enough to react to it appropriately. Just people making mouth noises and carrying on. We have a really awkward line of "Come on, Dar, let's watch the 6 o'clock news." Very natural phrasing. It's and this is where we learn Mom is dead. There actually was a bit of comedy here where when she first turns on the TV, there's like a soap opera playing or something, and it's two people banging. And if you listen to the audio, it's very low, but it's an audio gag where it's just Gloria, Harry, Gloria, Harry, Gloria, Harry. It's actually pretty funny.
And Dara's like,
Mm. Leave that on. Actually, that's another bit of comedy. She changes the channel to the news, and he's like, "Could we go back?"
it-
Or he covers Kodo and Poto's ears or something, or their eyes. But no, Kodo and Poto are completely forgotten
"No,
until like 20 minutes from now.
yeah, they're not allowed to be in this movie. There's
Yeah,
not. Chirac finally gets a name in this scene.
yeah. Also, they happen to see Arklon on the news. They just happen to see
Yeah,
him on the news in
yeah.
disguise.
It's I I'm so used to movies having a "and then" or a "therefore." This movie does not. It just it's scenes. It's scenes. So we cut from the house back to the facility. Um,
Oh yeah, speaking of which, the witch is also here.
she's also there, and
She just pops up.
she's dressed as a naval ensign. So she has like the women's dress hat and everything. So they get into the facility. Um, it's the 80s. So like I mean it's the 90s, excuse me. The Cold War's over.
Yeah.
So I could kind of understand, okay, the guy has a badge, he's wearing sunglasses, he answers all the right questions. Sure, we'll let him through the front gates. It's a buddy of mine, his dad worked like top secret stuff back in the 90s, and he said that he would try to just lift up random things to see if the gate guards would let him through, because they would just see something in your hand like an ID card and they would just wave you on through. It got to a point where he put a piece of toast out the window and they waved him through. So it's like, okay, security was maybe a little bit more lax back then. Um, but even then, it's like, okay, so this is a top secret facility. The guy has like a leather patch on his face. Like, do we really want to let him through? Like, getting past the gate, sure, maybe.
Yeah.
He gets in. Ursa's in, also in disguise. Funny little detail that
Mm.
maybe this is a Wings acting choice. He's disguised as a lieutenant colonel. He took this guy's mind, so he knows exactly where he's going in the
Mhm.
facility. People salute him in the halls and doors, which is weird. But he keeps doing like a Hail Hitler. Like he does like the Hail Hitler salute, like just yes,
Yeah.
Hail, Hail,
Mhm.
instead of like bringing it to it. But I'm like, that's kind of funny. It's like
That probably was a choice.
it's villain coded.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Um, they finally stop him when he gets to the room, which I'm like, okay, somebody in military security has some sort of head on their shoulders. They're like, sir, listen, your identification badge isn't for this area. You're not supposed to be in here. And it's clear that the guy has put together that it's like these are not the same people, but I
Mhm.
can't, but I'm not going to call them out. And it's like he's probably about to push the panic button, and he's like, "Sorry, like this isn't right for this." And they threaten him like, "Well, wouldn't it be unfortunate if the general found out?" And the guy stands his ground, and he's like, "No, you can't come in here." And then Arklon clobbers both of them. Neither of them are armed for some reason. Arklon takes them out, walks into the lab, and just takes the neutron detonator. He just takes it.
Yeah, we have a impotence joke at some point because
Yeah.
he tries to use his key of Magog, and speaking of which, no security check for that.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, and it doesn't work for some reason. And Sarah Douglas has a remark about impotence, essentially. By the way, we have a very cringy badges. I don't need badges from Wings Hauser. Yikes. Um,
why?
yeah, I don't know, but Arklon does get the.
And that's the punchline. It's, I don't need badges. And you're like,
Okay.
sweet topical treasure of the Sierra Madre reference?
Yeah, I liked it better in UHF, honestly. Badgers, I don't need any stinking badgers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, he gets the detonator. We have, the score is going apeshit here. It sounds very Jerry Goldsmith here. Like,
Yeah.
he's trying to escape the facility effectively, and he turns on the witch here, and he tries to use that brain drain trick of his that were introduced to 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
And he learns that the portal back home only opens on a full moon, which is tonight. Bye bye. So more coincidences. Characters get positioned and obtain knowledge just at will wherever the movie needs them to be, however it needs them to be in order to move. She curses him to spit roaches from his mouth, and
Tar-
he
Tarantula?
tarantula. He
Yeah.
spits a critter from his mouth and then says something nasty about her, which is actually kind of cute.
Yeah, it's kind of
Uh,
funny.
yeah, and he drives away, and he does know how to drive because he drained the brain of the lieutenant colonel.
Yep.
I did actually like the comedy with the gate guard saying, "I know what a red alert is." It's this
Yeah.
long phone exchange where they're telling him like, "You got to sound the alarm, like we have lockdown and stuff." And he hangs up. He's like, "Guy thinks I don't know what a red alert is." That's actually kind of is cute. And Dar and Jackie show up here, and they fail to capture Arklon because he drives off, and they take off in pursuit. And the witch hops into their car.
And so, yeah, she decides to shack up with our heroes.
Yeah, and this is where we get the culmination of that "cleave my black part from my bosom"
Yeah.
running gag. We
Third
finally
time.
don't have to do that anymore. 3
Yeah, it's the
times
third
comedy,
time.
threes. Yeah,
Yeah.
rule of threes. Uh,
Uh,
and we learn that, the neutron detonator's timer has been triggered. We have a half hour, and then the whole world goes, quote,
K-
"kablooey."
Bluey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. This whole I need to like impart onto the audience. So we've talked about this escape scene of them running away and like the car chase and everything. It there's no speed.
No.
There's no fun. There's no like action or like the edit is slow
And
and
every actor, like, every character is detached from one another.
nobody
There's yeah.
cares.
We don't
It's
have a bit where the cars go up side by side and, like, we do some, like, Indiana Jones, like, trying to or Ben-Hur-esque, like, taking
yeah,
swipes at each other on the road or something, or crashing vehicles.
it is anti-excitement. It is like it
Yes.
is like it is the anti-excitement equation. Like it has managed to, if Ambien was a chase scene, it yeah, it's really bad. Also, just one of those small notes. The gates of every military facility, all of them, all of them have machine gun nests. Like I worked on a fairly secure facility, and there were stories constantly, and it would happen every couple of years. Someone would get drunk, or they'd be high, or someone, and they would try and ram that gate, and they were then promptly shot like 70 times by the machine gun nests, because it's like, sorry, dude, you were high on 18 different uppers and downers. You thought you were in space and attempted to ram the gates of a military base. So they get decimated. So like, yeah, him just like driving off the nuclear facility. I'm like, yeah, so he's dead.
Yeah.
Everyone in this scenario is dead because there's two machine gun nests that just fence of fire just destroys everything. But yeah, so the police realize that the neutron detonator has been taken. They get a general into their office and they're interviewing him, and the guy is a complete idiot. Again, it's this movie's like weird anti-establishment attitude
Yeah.
where he's sitting there and he's kind of playing with his hands, like he's just like, "Yep, 30 minutes, whole world goes kablooey," and that's like the only thing he will say to them. Like he's totally absent-minded. He doesn't care. It goes kablooey. So apparently, for some reason, the neutron detonator, 30 minutes after being stolen, is automatically triggered to explode and destroy everything for some reason.
For some reason.
Balance of terror, sure.
Yada yada yada. I'm real tired today.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is now nighttime, and Arklon rolls up to the portal. So that would be the Adventureland mural in the
Yep.
alley. And Dar and Jackie show up to stop him. Dar actually manages to get between him and the portal, and we have a pretty embarrassing exchange of dialogue here where Wings Hauser, this is where it becomes like they mutually come to the realization that we are brothers, because we see that the mark of R is on both of their hands.
Yeah.
So Wings Hauser is apparently Mark Singer's older brother. So Arklon is Dar's older brother. And the dialogue, this is where I say I don't think we had a script, because Wings Hauser says like something yada yada, brother, I could have taught you so many things. 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 It's actually kind of an amazing moment because it tells you how much direction Wings Hauser was given.
I think Wings just broke on screen a little bit. It's like, I could have done the things. Things.
It's like it's Hercules. This isn't my world. Disappointed.
Disappointed. It's
or Christopher Walken in The Country Bears. Like, I'll get you for this. Bears.
Country Bear Hall has been crashed.
Could have taught you so many things. Things. Things, Star. Think of the things.
You could have experienced things.
Oh God, you've just experienced things. Experience beige. Anyway,
this is how our minds work, Trevor. This is the connections that we just made. It was like 6 things.
So many things, Dar. Look at all the things.
So many things.
So Jackie, another just botchamania here. So Jackie is driving with the witch, and she says, "Hey, Lorana, go contact my dad." And Lorana says, "You got it, lady." And Lorana never gets out of that car.
Oh, she doesn't.
There's a shot right after where she's still in the back seat. And the dad never shows up.
No.
And Lorana fucks off to wherever she fucks off to.
Yeah, she fucks off to parts unknown.
Yeah. And so that happens.
Does she come back to the movie?
No, she doesn't, Levi. She fucks off out of the movie. Sarah Douglas is gone.
The film?
She says goodbye, the movie. The cops roll up. So the cops roll up and the military. And Arklon makes wind and
Makes wind.
he makes wind. He holds out his wand thing and makes wind. Dar goes up fire escape, and all the cops decide to start shooting at Dar because he's in a loincloth and in a fire escape. He has done nothing.
I listen. There's probably a joke to be made about LA policing here.
I mean, yeah, in 1991, yes.
Yeah, Where's John Spartan when you need him?
So yeah, they start shooting at him. Arklon, the movie edits him out of the scene because I don't know where he goes. He's just gone.
Yeah.
The military chases Dar onto a rooftop and he escapes via construction vehicle, which is driven by Jackie. She says something about it being just like a car. I guess that's her talent in this is she knows how to drive.
I wanted so badly because I saw that crane move into the shot and I'm like, please tell me it's Poto and Kodo driving the crane. Please for the I'm like, it would be stupid, but I want it. Please. And
that would have been amazing.
If Poto and Kodo were driving that crane, it would have made up for the fact that they hadn't done anything in the film so far.
Yes. Yeah. They only get to do a thing and it's a little later. So they've been absent from virtually the entire film, but I have to maybe assume like Sylvio Tabet like didn't want to film the animal scenes or something. Like maybe they were a pain in the ass to him and he just didn't have the patience for it or something. Because the lack of animals in this is remarkable, actually.
There is very little beast in the Beastmaster.
By the way, so Kodo and Poto do re-emerge in the narrative at this point. He like literally Dar falls into someone else's car, I think, and they're just in the seat. He just finds them.
Yes.
And we decide, he and Jackie both, that Arklon must not be allowed to escape. And then I have in my notes, through literally the only portal that we know of, he can only be going one place, but apparently he is not. He's just wandering. He just leaves. He goes somewhere else. He goes to Adventureland is where he goes on accident.
I guess here's my thought process. Like this is like there's a page of the script missing.
Yes.
Sort of like the Lieutenant Colonel scene. There's there has to be a moment where he's like, okay, I think the idea is that the key of Magog is needed to open the thing. But even then, that doesn't make any sense because the witch was able to go through. But so he tries to open it and it stops not working. It doesn't work. And then my brain was like, is this the connection? That he sees the Adventureland mural and makes that connection of like, maybe it's there? Maybe that is the nexus point? But the problem is, again, there's a page missing.
Yeah, so we don't actually, that's just you speculating.
That's me speculating that it's like, oh, this is actually a point of connection where it's like, there's something about Adventureland. So, but
it's like Doomsday seeing WrestleMania on the TV, and he's like, I want to go to WrestleMania so I can go fight Superman and the Justice League and stuff.
Yeah, so Arklon goes to Adventureland, which I mean,
where there are many animals, by the way.
There's many animals. It's sort of yeah. It's like oh no,
this was a bad choice.
this was a bad idea. We decided to fight Aquaman at SeaWorld.
Yeah, shit.
God damn it! We could have chosen literally anywhere else.
Again, that's an opportunity for comedy because he like crashes into Adventureland and then he walks around, just have him looking around, seeing like the chimps and the elephant, and be like, "Shit," or use your one fuck, like, fucking hell. and then Dar pops out from behind a corner. He's like, "Oh, of course you're here."
So they pursue him to Adventureland with the police hot on their trail. This actually would have been an opportunity. This is an opportunity for like them to shoot, and all the police officers pull guns on Dar, and the chief is like, "No, no, no, stop!" And Dar's like, "I know where he's going."
Mm, mhm.
And then they go off as one unit to then go and stop him.
That would
Um,
make sense being as he has the bomb and they know it's dangerous.
yeah, where they're just like, and maybe Short Cop is like, "Are you sure?" It's just like, "What else do we have?"
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so they all roll off as one unit. They don't do that. Jackie, Dar, and Poto and Kodo and Shirak go off, and then the military and the police are hot on their trail. Arklon has the bomb, and Arklon, I don't know what Arklon is trying to do. I don't know
He's
what he's
yelling
doing.
to the gods of war and thunder and wandering
He's
aimlessly.
he's doing something. And I think effectively he's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna die and I'm gonna take everyone with me. Um, maybe I don't know. The
So,
script stops making sense.
yeah, it's just degenerating into just noise at this point. So Arklon, again, this is like one of the few plantings and payoffs that we have in this movie, so we're going to acknowledge it. He has beef with Shirok. He has beef with the eagle because
Yes.
it scratched his face. He sees the eagle, who has reinserted itself into the narrative after being absent for about 40 minutes.
Yes.
Uh, Arklon takes his mask off, and we see that, oh my God, he has some scratches.
Some
Like, it doesn't look
jam
that.
on his face.
Yeah, he has raspberry jam on his cheek. Not a big
Yeah.
deal, but he's upset about it. And he's like, yo, Eagle, I got beef with you. And the Eagle makes a move for him, and he zaps Shirok into Frank Welker. Shirok
Yeah.
is played by Frank Welker, and
All
you
the
know
animals
you
are played by Frank
all
Welker.
the animals are played by Frank Welker, and you notice
Oh
it.
yeah. It was really funny. I'm like, because I heard it, I'm like, is that Megatron?
Yeah, it was totally Megatron that just took a swing at Arklon and got zapped. So the Eagle's down, and this is when Dar and Jackie show up, and
Yeah.
Arklon shows a new trick. He splits the earth.
Y-
He creates a
Yeah.
crevice in the land.
Um,
Fire comes out of it.
before he does that,
Yes.
so there's a bit of a moment where they square off. Dar and Arklon square off in the middle of this arena,
Mm.
in the middle of what we presume to be kind of like the showcase area, where it's like, oh, we show off for the kids. Jackie hits the lights to turn on the light system that would be used for the night shows, which it would be kind of fun if somebody acknowledged that.
Mhm.
Like, but they don't. Like,
No.
like giving Arklon a little bit of a hammy line, like a flair for the dramatic, just how I like it, or
Mhm.
something. Like, give us something. But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so the lights are on, and now the lights are on, and this is just, why did Jackie do that? Why did she do that? She then, I it was during this scene that I texted Trevor, and I'm like, Trevor, you aren't going to believe this. You are not going to believe this scene because it is so ill conceived and it is so strange. And I don't think I have ever seen a climax of a movie that made me this gobsmacked. She turns on the audio, and it is the canned audio for the animal performances, where they're like, "Welcome to Adventureland. You see, in the wild, the animals aren't friends, but here they're the best of friends." And there's literal clown music as they sword fight unconvincingly. It is like a work of parody. It is actively making our leads look buffoonish. Like, not in like a fun way where it's like, oh, look at the cognitive dissonance of them fighting with the silly music, because the scene isn't even cool. It They look incompetent Wings
Yeah.
Hauser clearly does not know how to handle this sword. Mark Singer kind of knows, but he's trying to compensate for the fact that Wings Hauser doesn't know what he's doing. So it looks terrible, and there's literal clown music playing. So the
Chintzy clown music.
yeah, not even good clown music.
We had a full orchestral score throughout this movie.
Yeah,
This is not that.
no. Like it's not even like fun big top like Danny Elfman circus music. It's like canned like we got this from a novelty shop stuff.
It's a preset on the Casio keyboard.
It is dreadful.
Mhm.
It is a climactic fight that is actively telling you to not care. And I don't think I've ever seen a movie do that. I don't think I've ever seen a movie actively, intentionally undermine its own climax like that. And I was just in awe. I couldn't handle it because it's just like this is remarkable. Because I've seen botched climaxes,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but I've never seen a climax actively tell me to not care. Um, it like amped up the ridiculousness level, and I kind of wish if they would have played into it a little, it would have actually been funny, but it just came off to me as like, what are we doing? They talk about the seals, and they're like, watch him kiss, is the narration as they clash swords. And I'm like, if Wynorski was directing this scene, he would have had the intense where they clash and their faces get really close together next to the swords when that came up. And it
Yeah,
would have been kind of funny. It would
yeah.
have been like a here's something ridiculous next to something that is like white knuckle intensity. That in a different movie, this would be kind of exciting and kind of like, but now we're playing it for laughs. They can't even make it funny. So it's like, it's this terrible thing. Finally, they break the speakers, and then the score tries to come back and like, no, actually, you're supposed to care. And you're like, you've lost me. Movie, you've lost me.
Mhm.
And then the ground breaks open, Trevor. Tell tell the audience how we conclude this climactic duel between brothers fated at the autumn equinox, which is not mentioned.
Only by the swamp monster at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, the juxtaposition on paper has some potential for humor, but it shouldn't be your climax. Like it completely sabotages any sort of weight that the thing could have had. And you have like, you know, epic storytelling kind of going on here where it's like, oh, his brothers fated to be in conflict with one another. And they have dialogue that supports that amidst all of that noise and garbage. It is truly remarkable. Like just to see a filmmaker utterly dismantle like like to give disparate messaging simultaneously. Where it's like you're showing me something that's supposed to be a fulfilling climax to a story, but you're also taking the piss out of it at the same time.
It's just
It's baffling, truly. Needs to be studied, honestly. But anyway, the fight comes to a conclusion, and Arklon has a pretty cringy line of "I have no brother, only enemies." He gets kind of stabbed in the dick at one point, but
it,
not actually. He get like a piece of metal is pushed into his loins, but
yeah,
it doesn't slice him or penetrate him. It just like pressure. It makes him uncomfortable, basically.
yeah.
um, and Arklon throws Dar over the flaming crevice that he split in the ground, and there's some dialogue that transpires, and long story short, Dar tosses Arklon into the pit, and he transforms into the one of the worst effects ever rendered on film. And Arklon's last words are, "The world is mine," while he falls into this flaming pit and is not even given the dignity of being shown to fall, like, we don't cut away, he just, like, fades? Like,
He
they just turn the opacity, just like, they just dump the opacity on Wings Hauser, and he just bamfs out of the movie.
he Buck Rogers spins into the
The
pit.
world is
Da,
mine.
da, 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 as there's like transparent gifts of fire put on top of him.
Uh-huh.
He says his line, and yeah, he just
It's like Ninja Turtles 3, the bad
oh,
one, when the guy falls into the water and there's no effect of him hitting the
yeah,
water.
he just
He just he just goes into a different, he goes through the portal of time.
yeah, he goes through the portal of time. It's I feel like my 2 hours went through the portal of time.
This movie is an hour 45, by the way. That's too
It
goddamn long.
guys, I hoped and prayed when I looked at the back of that box it was gonna say 80 minutes.
No.
It didn't. It
I mean,
didn't.
our director slash producer seems to have a thing for padding, but yeah, this is where Dar gets his catchphrase of asshole.
Asshole.
Yeah. Eagle's alive. Shirok is not dead because that would make the kids cry. The cops show
Because
up.
literally anything of substance or weight, it's forbidden from happening in this film.
Yeah. So the cops and the general show up, and we get 2 minutes that I can't get back of my life, of the general doddering about and failing to disarm the bomb until the last second. It is a complete waste of time, everyone's time. Uh, Jackie finds Dar at the portal. He is now reunited with his animal friends. By the way, all the animals in Adventureland stand as spectators for the final battle.
I
You are going to have a beast mastering in your
in your
Beastmaster film.
Beastmaster film. I
No.
dude, well, because that's the thing. They set it up.
Yeah,
They put the pieces on the board
they
because
do.
there's even a great moment because when Wings cracks the earth, it releases all the animals. And what I was waiting for was this kind of cool, epic moment because you see the elephant kind of raise up and the chimps are like beating on their chests and the big cats kind of come out and I'm like this is your cool pullback moment of like Wings turning around and being like oh shit as Dar is standing between them as he's like atop the elephant like let's go
Mhm.
like you have like you could have had this big cool moment because they set the scene. They put all the pieces on the board. It's right there.
What you do, Levi, is you have a situation where you set up like an honorable confrontation between equals, and then Arklon cheats, and then you have like Arklon have some goons or something, and Dar needs to bring in the animals to handle the goons, and then once again it's back to one, where it's like Arklon's like shit. It's like I
Yeah,
had a goon squad set up and ready for you. I was gonna overwhelm you with my superior numbers, but your damn animal mastery, your beast mastering got in the way, and now I have to fight you fair like I didn't want to.
that's actually that's a really good realization that a connection I just made.
Hmm,
Arklon is a heel villain,
yeah.
but he's not allowed to use heel tactics. It's
This
because the
dang sense of honor.
it's like he is a heel villain because he's
Mhm.
kind of comedic, he's kind of dopey. He needs henchmen. He
Yes,
needs a
he
crew of like
needs
6 or 7
henchmen.
guys. But he's put into a scenario where he is the lone master.
Yeah.
But the problem is he's not threatening. He has no
No.
threat. Where if he had a couple of heavies that were imposing that he could kind of like cower behind, like, all right, boys, get him. And
Mhm.
then when he's disarmed, it's like, oh shoot, I actually have to fight him one on one.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the thing you can do with these characters. Like James Bond had these types of villains all the time,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, he's kind of this weaselly nothing burger. He's kind of an empty suit, or even something like Gladiator. Joaquin Phoenix. Like, it's like he's big when he has his men around him. Arklon is a heel villain who isn't allowed to be a heel.
Yeah, you just gave me a fun idea. Actually, is have some parallels or some like mirroring of our two brothers because they are brothers in this. Have him dominate people, and Dar negotiates. He asks the animals to help. He
I like
he
that.
mind controls people. You turns them into slaves.
They are both Beastmasters in a way.
Yeah. See, we could make a better Beastmaster.
I I dude, I'm convinced you could have head trauma and make a better Beastmaster. This. I am like
So
yeah,
let's get across the
let's
finish
wrap
line
this up.
here. So,
Let's
yeah, bomb is handled at the last second, and we say bye to Dar, and what? Thank you for being my friend. I think is the parting words, and she
yeah,
kisses him unbidden. He's like, "Whoa, lady, you didn't earn that. This movie
yeah,
didn't earn that." uh, so there's no chemistry of any sort between these
no.
two characters. He leaves Kodo too, and Podo with her. Now she has stinky ferrets that she has to take care of.
He leaves them
Yeah.
without saying anything.
Yeah,
He leaves them.
you need to say goodbye. They're your
I
friends.
here's here is my note for the finale of this film. Final fight sucks. General sucks. And Dar leaves Poto and Kodo behind. This movie is bullshit.
If you write a review, if you publish a review anywhere, Levi, please have it be that.
I I was viscerally upset with the end of this film.
Well, yeah, he leaves Kodo and Podo behind, and they try to make it like a you know a farewell of sorts. But again, it's not earned in any sort of way. Uh, the sign glows with a shitty optical effect that I guess is supposed to signify that the portal still functions to some extent. Dar encounters some pilgrims back in his world, and
Yeah.
this is where we get a Michael Berryman cameo. And turns out that the natives are worshiping Jackie's car.
Yeah, they're worshiping the Porsche.
Yeah, and the radio gets turned on, and Discount Kenny Loggins starts playing.
Yeah.
We all dance. We have a Shrek dance party, and Dar runs off into the beat with the sunset at his back, but he doesn't actually run off because this is actually him running in place, perhaps on a soundstage. And the icing on the cake is that the tiger is supposed Rue is supposed to be running along with him, gets bored and just walks off the set,
Reaches the end of the set and just
and you actually see Mark Singer turn his head and be like, "You're leaving me?" Like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna keep running in place. Roll credits, and it's like I wrote in my notes that when the tiger leaves partway through the credits, it's like it sums up the movie so perfectly.
it,
Could not be bothered.
every single name in that credit roll should be Alan Smithy.
Yes, yes.
No one should have wanted their name on this.
This is nobody's baby.
Like,
It's
I
remarkable.
like I that this I almost hate to say that it is the worst franchise movie I've ever seen because because that would bestow any sort of honor upon it.
Yeah, it would have a distinction of some sort.
It would
Um,
have some sort of distinction that would come up in my day-to-day life if somebody ever asked me.
mhm.
This movie deserves to be buried and forgotten.
Yeah, kill it, burn it if you have to.
Like, I I hated this. I hated this so much.
Betrayal.
That really is. It's like, guys, if you're coming from my channel, if you listen, I gave Gnome Cave a shot I had nice things to
James
say.
Rolfe's Gnome Cave, by the way.
I James Rolfe's first horror novella is a very, very flawed piece of art. It is very flawed. I had nice things to say about it.
You did.
Um, in some like despite its flaws, I had some nice things to say about it. I tried my best to be kind. What I can say is that this movie is lensed well
Hmm?
in places. It has some nice shots. The score tries its damnedest to make you care.
Mhm.
Mark Singer maintains some dignity only by way of his non-committal to this film. And that is where any kind of nice things I have to say end.
Yeah, I concur with all of that, and then that one bit with the horse was the one note.
Yes, it is a evolution of the concept that works.
Singular.
It I just
It's a very bad film, and it's okay. We tried our best. We're honest, and I come at films from the same angle as you. I always try to find the value, and that's it.
yeah,
That's it.
it's there yeah, I can't I want people to see Highlander 2
Yeah.
because of how completely nuts it is, and because there is something beautifully absurd about I Remember Now on the Planet Zeist, because it is just so out of left field, and it's so insane, and the Porcupine Man going, "McLeod!" And, there is a air of ridiculousness that almost makes it you have to kinda see it.
Mhm.
Beastmaster 2 squanders the franchise in such a way that is not only boring, but insulting,
Mhm.
and it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing with the time it is given. It only takes.
I'm not gonna try to top that, but I will say that I have high hopes for Beastmaster 3 being the superior Beastmaster as compared to this one, because I looked at the cast list and I looked at our director. Our director's done a lot of television, a lot of Star Trek. We have some Star Trek alum in the cast. I believe we
Yeah,
have Tony Todd and David Warner. I think a baby Casper Van Dien's in there.
yeah,
Um, we got people. We have
yeah.
stuff.
Dude,
Uh,
we got some stuff.
and it was produced for a cable network, which, they understood their audience to some degree. So I have to assume it probably has more life to it than this. Um, we'll see. I didn't even know the thing existed until Levi brought it up in conversation. Um, but yeah, that's Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time,
Yeah.
which is not an element in the film, entirely
No.
a misnomer. From 1991, is directed by its producer Sylvio Tabet. Um, he doesn't return for the third one. I
Thank
think
God.
maybe as producer, but he's certainly not the director. I know that much. So that's a good thing. But before we go, Levi, you got to tell our audience about your YouTube channel and what you've got going on. You just put out a video the other day that I watched this very morning about uh, real film.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. A lot of passion, a lot of enthusiasm in that video. Uh, really lovely stuff. Like I'm glad you have the courage to put that kind of messaging out there into the world because not everybody does, myself included. So good on you. It was an amazing video.
I appreciate that, man. I'm over at Your Captain Speaking. I talk about mostly books, men's action fiction, like thin paperback stuff you can kind of enjoy in an afternoon or on a plane trip. A lot of action for things like Conan, James Bond, Elric. I did a big video on Phantom of the Opera that people really seem to like. And my most recent video is talking about my 16 millimeter film collection, which, yeah, a lot of time and passion went into that one. People don't seem to be tuning in as much to it, but I stand by it. I'm proud of it. Um, but yeah, you can find me over there. where I talk about things for less than 3 hours. And usually it's good.
Check out Levi's channel, Your Captain Speaking. Lovely stuff. And also check back with us next week. Levi will be back for us to talk about Beastmaster 3. I don't remember the subtitle on that one, but there is indeed a
I
subtitle. Eye of
Is
something or
there?
other.
Yeah,
There
it's like,
is.
Eye of Arnax or something, I don't know.
I keep wanting to say Abraxas, but that's a Jesse Ventura movie
It
that he
might be.
did that he did with Sven Ole Thorson so they could get medical benefits via SAG. That's why Jesse Ventura had an acting career.
Okay,
That's a movie that exists. Look, you get to hear Sven Ole Thorson say "Komeda" constantly throughout that film.
sweet.
Don't give Sven Ole Thorson dialogue. Just don't do it. Anyway, so you get the Minnesota accent and the Danish accent. I don't even know what a Danish accent sounds like. Look up Sven Ole Thorson if you want to know. But yeah, check back next week for more Barbarian Cinema Month, and we'll be talking about Beastmaster 3. So yeah, my show is called Catching Up on Cinema. You've been watching it and or listening to it. You can find us on YouTube's or on pretty much every podcasting platform you can imagine. So check us out and check back next week, and we'll catch you next time.